jabba jiving, it loves me. Coffee and tea and the jabba and me. A cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, a cup. Boy.
Yay, 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 yay.
And there's
Hello.
Greggy Poo.
All right, we were just talking about you, Greg, wondering where the heck you were. Oh, my.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. Yes, I am Diana Clarion, the Lavender Lady. She is Bionic Dance, the wonderful, wonderful. Okay, shut up. And here we are to entertain you mildly at any rate and all that good stuff. And yay! Oh, look at this! Hello, Greg. Hello, Kevin, and hello, Randy. Yeah, we're getting the good people in already. There we are. And yeah, I'm still getting over my COVID jab, but it's doing nicely, so I'm not going to complain that much. Uh, Kate and I were just talking about, we were comparing notes in the green room. Um, Interesting as I got knocked out just totally with, I was asleep all day yesterday. I mean, literally all day.
I
And
wish I could have slept through my second shot because it was the worst flu I've ever had. Like seriously,
okay.
I have never been more sick in my entire life than I was after that second shot.
And I really didn't feel anything but the exhaustion. I mean, just into the bed and
Well, I should be used to my own idiosyncratic reactions. Hell, there was a time when caffeine was a sedative for me.
okay then. Yeah, because I had planned on making some potato salad and grilling a steak and having a nice dinner, and I never got to it because I was asleep all freaking day. So I guess I'm going to have to do that stuff tomorrow and see if that works.
Well,
Um,
I've always had a difficult time describing anything that includes potatoes as a salad. It doesn't seem right. Like, salads are mostly green with some carrots in.
okay, so you don't do macaroni salad that often, do you?
You realize that macaroni salad is just covered in white slop, right?
Well,
I mean,
actually,
seriously, like, the only white sauce I will eat is Alfredo. Everything else is something I don't like.
well, in my case, the macaroni salad is covered in yellow slop because I make my own
But it's still
mayonnaise.
slop. And it's still mayonnaise. I mean, freaking mayonnaise is so disgusting. I have never understood the appeal of mayonnaise. I mean, it tastes terrible. It looks like cum. Where's the fun?
We're going to have a really good day today, aren't we?
Well, let's put it this way. It is very rare I'm willing to eat something that looks like it could have come out of my own body, especially an orifice of some sort. The closest I'll come is lemonade. So,
Oh, my word. Hi, Beach. Haven't seen you in a
I mean,
while. Beach said
there's
it.
a reason there's a reason I don't eat like clams and oysters is they look like snot.
Yeah, I give you that. I do give you that. Um, Although I have been known to eat a clam or two, the oysters, not so much.
Well, I mean, I've been known to eat a clam or two,
Nah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's a separate issue, isn't it?
Mm. Oh man, but yeah, Beach says every joint in my body hurt after number two, but that passes in about a day. Mine is still hurting slightly. I got jabbed on Friday, um, and maybe it's a good thing that I was asleep all day yesterday, so I didn't feel much of anything. What I'm feeling right now is what you felt in grade school, when they hit you in the arm like that. And I'll take
With
that. Oh,
what? I never got hit with a shot in grade school. Are you talking about a polio vaccine? Because they don't do that in schools anymore.
I remember polio. Yeah, definitely.
Well, but is that what you're talking about? Was my question.
No, I'm talking about the kids balling up a fist and going wham, 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 wham.
The hell are you talking about? I have no idea. This must be a thing that happened long before I was in school.
Maybe it was, where they would actually strike you with a closed fist in the arm over and over again.
For what?
Just because, what do you want to call it? Bullying?
Oh,
Just,
wait, you were talking about how much it hurt. I thought you were talking about lining up in school to get shots.
oh, no, 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 no. No, sorry about that. Bufu.
Yeah,
Um,
but they still didn't do that thing, and I've never seen a bunch of kids lined up getting whammed in the arm. Maybe it's a
okay.
guy thing. I don't know. But they
Maybe.
never like there was two for flinching. We had that, but there was no just lining you up and pounding you and making you participate in your own abuse. That
Mm,
never came up. I mean, okay, yes, there was why are you hitting yourself, but still, I mean, it wasn't anyway.
yeah, all that stuff.
Well,
And,
maybe we just didn't do that in Vermont. I don't know.
boy, it would have been nice to grow up in Vermont at that point, but, what the hell.
Mm.
Um, but at least that stuff got my mind off the slip disc pain, which feels like 2,000 volts through the neck and arm, man.
I
Very, very
honestly didn't
different.
know.
Oh boy.
But I mean that like I'm more than a month out, so it like it doesn't hurt. All of my pain is right here. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, I'm good. I just wonder like how much protection the vaccine really is. I know what they talk about. They give all these statistics like you're 98% safe or some crap. But I don't know. I'm actually still masking up and washing up when I get
Oh
home,
sure,
just
yeah,
because I remember reading about the Spanish flu
yeah.
and how the thing started to taper off and people got overconfident and holy crap, another wave.
Uh huh. Uh
So
huh. Well,
you
had you
know,
seen Fauci talking about a booster after a year?
well, I've seen a lot of people talking about it.
Okay, and I saw that and I said, yeah, I was expecting that. Um,
I'm hoping not, but given that the virus seems to be mutating at a stupid rate,
yeah, that's the point.
yeah.
And I mean, I'll go for it if I have to. I get a flu shot every year anyway, so what's the big deal? Um,
Well, I don't, or at least I didn't used to. Now I do.
oh, okay.
I
Um,
mean, like the last time I got the flu prior to the second jab was childhood.
oh, okay.
So I don't know if I'm just not very susceptible to the flu or what, but I didn't used to get shots. This year I did because I'm like, A, it's free at the pharmacy, but also, I mean, given that flu is also a coronavirus, I mean, a
Yes.
flu shot wouldn't protect me if at all, but at the same time, better safe than sorry.
Moo. Moo.
Because, like,
Definite
I
moo.
understand flu vaccines not very effective against COVID.
Right, right. Yeah, you've got just enough difference going on where one doesn't recognize the other. Um,
But I was like, who knows? I mean, it's worth it. I didn't feel the jab when I got the flu shot, and I didn't get sick from it, but my arm hurt for 3 days, like a lot. So I mean, I consider it all good. Xander, stop knocking over DVDs.
oh my, oh my. Some people's kids.
Actually, I think they're old video games I don't play anymore, but he's knocking them over, and I'd rather he didn't.
Yay, there you go. Oh, Bayo Corosto. No,
So, did you know that they've done studies and they've discovered that, yeah, cats understand us, just like dogs do. They just don't give a rat's ass.
uh-huh.
They don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's something we've suspected for years, but this time it's scientifically official. You know,
Absolutely. Oh,
So
I don't know about some people's kitties. I really
I'm fairly
don't.
convinced cats are more intelligent than dogs, although I've seen studies that say otherwise.
I
I
don't know
mean, I've
what it.
seen dogs get up to some bullshit where cats, yeah, they do too, but it's not the same kind, I think.
Well, what are you measuring when you're measuring the intelligence of a given species? This is what I don't understand. I don't know what they're measuring. It would help if I did know that. And they probably tell you somewhere, but I haven't really read the
Well,
primary literature or anything.
I imagine it's mostly about problem solving.
Okay.
But I don't know. I took an IQ test like I was 14 or some crap, and it came out pretty high.
No
But
kidding.
it's like I don't remember exactly how the test went. I think it might have been similar to the SATs.
Okay. The IQ tests I've taken involved a lot of pattern recognition.
Although
Um,
I've had that for psychological tests, like post brain surgery, they're like, okay, how are you at figuring out this puzzle? But I mean, a lot of it was like what's wrong with this picture kind of stuff.
okay, then. One of
You
the things
know.
I've noticed is over time an increase in popularity of recreate this picture with only these shapes.
I had a lot of, here's a grid of black and white squares. Here's another grid of black and white squares. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. What comes next?
Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Lot of that.
Mm hmm.
So mostly I just sort of go by gut because honestly, figuring it out would take forever. Like I try a little bit to do it intellectually, but after a while I'm just like, well, that seems to fit the pattern at least, and there you go.
This is interesting. Shadow Kitty says COVID boosters are going to be like rabies shots for humans. Um, Humans only get rabies shots when they
No,
are in danger of getting
no,
rabies, right?
no, 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 no. I'm pretty sure that what's being said here is that COVID shots are going to be distributed similarly to how rabies shots are delivered to non-humans.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
Yes.
Okay. It
I
takes
mean,
me a
that's my
while.
guess, especially given the kitty at the end of the sentence.
There you go. Oh my.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Mister?
I have actually said that and meant it, but not after caffeine.
Okay.
Well, you find a good strain of weed, and well, the
It was
problem is that most dispensaries can't keep the same product on the shelves like month to month. They get a shipment, and oh yeah, that stuff was left out, and this was like every place has Maui Wowie, but there'll be some funky like Kush OG or some fuck that they don't have, anymore, but they'll have it the next month and stuff. So even if you find your strain, it doesn't mean you necessarily get to keep having it.
okay. Sort of like a marijuana. What am I looking for? A shop and save for marijuana. The uh, the shop and safe grocery store near me. It's one of these things you never know what they're going to have from week to week or even day to day.
The one in The Simpsons, I think it's The Simpsons, called Try and Save.
Okay.
It's like, oh yeah, we went and bought this stuff at the Try and Save. I don't know. It amuses me.
I haven't watched The Simpsons since about 1990. It's been a long time.
I think it's been since 2000 for me, but what I mean is that I haven't watched anything new. I
Uh
have
huh.
seasons 1 and 2 over there.
Okay then. Um,
So, so I've watched The Simpsons since 2000 or so, but, I'm not up to date, is all I'm saying. And they're like on season 32, so how the fuck do you up to date? You know what I mean? Like, if you're
and
this far behind,
I've heard people say that they have no good reason to be on season 32. Um,
yeah.
I
And
couldn't
given
tell
that,
you.
like, fair portions of the cast are either dead or left, it's probably not the same show anymore. Unless someone managed to imitate Harry Shearer really accurately.
Okay, now which voices did Shearer do?
Pretty sure he was, well, I mean, he was at least a couple of the coworkers. A lot of the office workers who had that weirdly nasal, mildly but not very smarmy voice. He did
Okay,
those. I think he might have been Apu, but I'm not sure. That could have been Hank Azaria or even Dan Castellaneta. You'd have to look it up. I mean, he might have been Smithers. I don't know. He did a lot of voices. That's all. And of course, when Phil Hartman died, boy, did the show go downhill.
uh, hi Colleen, hello.
So I miss Phil Hartman. He was
um,
one of the best comedians out there.
okay then.
You have no idea who he is, do you?
Oh, I know the name, and I've more than likely seen a good bit of his output. I'm trying to remember. Did he appear on Saturday Night Live at all?
I don't know. Probably. I never really watched it. Oh wow, I didn't realize this, but Harry Shearer is like Ned Flanders, Principal Skinner, Kent Brockman. I mean, he's a lot of people.
Oh my.
Jasper, Lenny, Herman. I mean, he's been a lot of people on that show.
Okay then. If you
So
lose
I
a linchpin
mean,
like that, then yeah.
but he like left the show. I think someone did, and it was someone critical. So I mean, mm, I don't know. I'm not sure how worth it is to watch. But wait a minute. But he didn't. He didn't leave the show. I'm seeing episodes of 2021. So who the hell left?
Hmm. I do not knowing on for to into.
Yeah. Well, regardless. I mean, yeah. Like a lot of people do a lot of voices. You'd be surprised how many people Dan Castellaneta voices.
Okay.
I mean, he's Homer, but he's also like freaking so many other people. Same with Tress McNeil, who, by the way, is also the voice of Dot Warner.
Moo.
Like, let's see, I'm having a hard time getting a listing of the characters because they only show one of them. But
Hmm. Well,
it's also
Mage.
funny, like he plays a lot of live action characters, and you'd never guess what he really looks like.
Okay then.
Because he's like this short, weedy kind of guy. He doesn't look like Homer in any fashion. But yeah, okay. So Dan Castellaneta, he's like Homer. He's Grandpa Simpson. He's Barney. um, like probably bunches of others, but again, they don't list it very well. Uh, but yeah, so he's a lot of different people. Tress McNeil is a lot of different people. I mean, she's one of those ones who like her voice is in every goddamn thing.
Hmm.
Like she was Gadget on Tailspin. She was Babs Bunny on Tiny Toons. I'm trying to remember here. It's just, I mean, every now and then, her voice is distinctive enough that when I hear it, at least, I'm like, oh, hey, Tress McNeil.
Okay then.
Same with Rob Paulson.
Moo. And
Like, okay, so Dan Castellaneta, also Groundskeeper Willie, Gil Gunderson, Krusty the Clown, Principal Duggins, whoever the hell that is, some dude named Ernest, squeaky voiced teen, it says. I swear he got to be one of the kids. Wow, he's also Sideshow Mel? That can't be right. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I could have sworn that was Kelsey Grammer. Let's see. I mean, so
Are there
again,
two Sideshow whatever characters?
No, that's Sideshow Bob, not Sideshow Mel. Sideshow Bob is Kelsey Grammer.
That's where I was going. Yeah.
Oh wow, he's also Itchy occasionally. Mayor Quimby, huh? All right. Blue-haired lawyer. What the frick?
Mage asks.
Yeah. So, needless to say, he's a lot of people. I'm pretty sure Nancy Cartwright is people other than Bart. So.
Mage asks, how you doing after the second shot? Well, I slept all day yesterday. And I'm pretty sure it was because of the shot. Pretty sure it knocked me out.
Yes, Kath Susie. Sorry, Mage mentioned.
Oh, Move Beef.
I'm a fan.
And, other than that, other than the sleepiness, really not. I mean, I'm still feeling the hurt in the arm a little bit, but it's getting my mind off the slip disc pain, so that's not a bad thing.
Another frequent voice that I hear a lot is Elizabeth Daly, who is also in the Go-Go's, if I remember right.
Moo.
Yeah, she's done a lot of voice work. So, anyway. Let's see. Then. Wow, apparently her original last name was Gutman, and I can understand why she changed it.
Okay.
Maybe I'm misremembering. Who the hell am I thinking of? Was there someone else named Daly in the Go-Go's? I could have sworn she was the one who sang the theme song to Better Off Dead. Maybe I'm thinking of Jane Weedland.
I have no expertise in this field, you understand, right?
Well, but, yeah, see, the thing is, you were around for the 80s. I mean, oh, wait a minute, maybe that's E.G. Daly. What? No, but that is her. Ah, fuck. Let's see, the Go-Go's. I'm gonna look this. I swear it's her. Let's see. Surely there's a list of members. Well, Jane Weedland was definitely in it. Let me type in Daly and see what happened. D-A-I. Nope, apparently not. Was she in the Bangles? Apparently not. I could have sworn she was in one of those. All right, I'm looking up Better Off Dead to see who the hell sang that theme song then. And I'm quite convinced you've never seen Better Off Dead either.
And I'm quite convinced that you're right.
Okay, let's see. So, soundtracks. Let's see here. Where is it? One Way Love, performed by Elizabeth Daly. So, apparently that's a yes, but looking her, like, she is a singer, but she doesn't appear to have been in the Bangles or the Go-Go's. I swear she was.
I don't know. You gotta call her up and say, "Hey, you get in these bands that probably don't exist anymore."
Oh, I wish, and I mean, I wish I could go back in time and, like talk to certain people, or just contact certain celebrities or something. Okay. Have I mentioned that episode of Black Mirror that had a character in it named Roxette?
I don't remember this, but then again, my memory is what it is.
Well, I seriously want to ask the writer if he was inspired by the band. I mean, I don't see how he couldn't have been, but I mean, like I want confirmation. And oh, that's gotta suck. Elizabeth Daly was born on September 11th. I mean,
Here.
61. But still, September 11th. Imagine trying to celebrate your birthday on that day.
There you go. Now, okay, you want confirmation, but don't you have to be Catholic for that?
You only think you're funny.
No, I don't even think that.
All right. Well, I don't see any reference. Let me try the Bengal. Nope. Well, then I'm confused.
Well, we knew that.
Let's see. What band was Elizabeth Daly in? Oh, gee, thanks. I don't see anything. I guess she was never in a band. Oh, wait, here's a discography. And it's all solo shit. Oh, she was in Bananarama. I forgot about them. Okay, that was driving me nuts. Also, Shadow Kitty, did you know that Jane Weedland played Joan of Arc in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Okay.
Well, she was in one of those bands we've been talking about, and she was.
Greg says there's nothing funny about the Catholic Church, and yeah, he's got a
Yes,
point
there is. There's tons funny about it.
Well, not necessarily funny, ha.
No, I'm gonna go with funny, ha.
Oh man, well I mean,
let's put it this way: these people literally think that crackers and wine turn into flesh and blood after you eat them. That's hilarious. I'm sorry, that's fucking funny.
Oh, that's one of the favorites though, and yeah, when the guy in the funny clothes says the magic words, and it's like, what they? We even got a day's instruction about that one in Catholic school.
I still say those communion wafers ought to be called necro wafers.
Yeah, about the same
Well,
dimensions too.
Of course, also the camera in the back of the car they have now that helps you parallel park. I think those should be called kaleidoscopes.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one. I'm sorry, that's a fucking good one.
Oh,
I don't know.
hi Jeff. Jeff says Catholicism is my favorite form of clandestine global evil.
I know way the hell too many Jeffs to keep them straight. It's kind of like what the hell is it with J names? There's too many Jens. There's too many Jeffs. There's too many movie score composers who have names that start in J. And what the hell is with the, hell, even for last names, Homer J. Simpson, anyone?
Well, God,
it's funny how J and P seem to be the go-tos for middle initials in fiction.
Well, Godless Scummer's name happens to be a G name, but that's okay too.
Okay, so Joff, like Joffrey?
Yeah,
I don't know anyone who pronounces it Joff. I know Joffrey, people really do pronounce it like that, but when they say Jeff, they say Jeff.
One of the people that we'd hang together in high school, he was a G Jeff. We always called him Geo Fry. And he went with that very easily.
I know a Jeff, like a Joffrey Jeff in my old neighborhood back in Vermont. And if I was ever feeling silly, I'd call him Geography.
Okay then. Dayo Korostu.
He fortunately found it amusing too. So, because there have been times I've given people, just random ass nicknames because I thought it was fun. And it's usually affection. Sometimes, slightly sarcastic affection, but still affection. If I give you a nickname that isn't outright insulting, it usually means I like you.
Okay, then.
Right? So there's that. I remember back in Seattle, I had a friend named Robin. And whenever we would meet, for some reason, my greeting was always Binra. And he was like, look, I don't usually like nicknames, but I can tell where that's coming from, and so I like it. Like he could see that I meant it sort of as a like really glad to see you kind of thing.
Mm. Oh man, yeah. Gunnel Scummer says Jeffrey is in Chaucer.
Okay. Kind of surprised you didn't pronounce it Chaucer or some shit, but all right.
Chaucer was English.
Okay, but is that name English?
Tell you the truth, I'm not exactly sure.
All right, well, it sounds French to me.
You know what I'm doing, don't you?
Of course, but I'm doing it too and faster. Chaucer name Oregon. Boy's name English origin, really English origin. I wouldn't have suspected that. It's maker of breeches of all things.
Okay, then that's an interesting. Huh. Maker of breeches. Okay.
Yeah. I honestly, just from the spelling, the construction of it, I honestly believed it was French, and you can see why. I hope.
Hi,
Well,
Godless Scummer. How you doing?
Apparently, mic trouble.
Apparently. Hello.
Is that better?
Ah,
Yeah, I thought I'd come in and answer the Jeff question for you.
Oh, yay.
I've heard various different origins of the name from Teutonic or Old French, but it kind of is supposed to mean God's peace or something, or God's heavenly peace. So it's a bit of a strange name.
Okay.
well, it's funny. Like when I was naming the characters in that animation I'm working on, I found it very, very difficult to find a name that wasn't biblical in origin. Like that didn't have some sort of religious connotation to it.
Yeah.
So
I'm hearing myself echo for some reason, but
You may be hearing that because I don't have my headset connected. I will.
hearing what?
What?
Hearing what? Jeff here?
Jeff says.
no, I'm hearing myself echo a bit. I was just.
Yeah, I had the headset off because it felt so nice to not have it on. I'm going to have to do something about a better headset or earbud or something thing.
Oh, you've seen my new earbuds.
Oh yeah, those are definite stuff.
Okay. I keep not being certain which way is front. It's not super clear. I'm sorry, it's not. But there we go.
Yay!
And now Kate is Sylvan.
That just what kind of slides over the I forget what the term for those things are, the pinnae or whatever, the external
No,
ears.
it goes behind it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
hearing an echo now. That's interesting.
I'm not.
I don't think I am anymore.
Somebody's feeding back. Watch it be some
strange.
horrible electronics with me or something. I don't.
I'm almost tempted to cut off the cord and just use them for cosplay. I don't know, but it's always good to have some backups in case these bad boys fail or run out of power or something.
Yeah. What I'd like to do is figure out how the heck to get Bluetooth working consistently on all of my systems, and go with the earbuds like you've got without the ears.
Well, but then that's no fun. Hey, actually, I can do that and get rid of the cord, at least visually. There it is. Yay, there we go. Now it's just cosplay.
Yay!
Hey, there we go.
Oh, I am
Yeah,
liking that.
I have to admit though, when I saw these on Amazon and I saw the sheer number of questions, like people saying, "Do they come in black?"
Okay.
And the answer was no.
Aw.
Well, and I was just thinking, seems a little on the racist side, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, or at least the clueless side. Although I have to admit, like, okay, this is gonna maybe sound terrible, but most fantasy that includes elves tends to have a medieval vibe, usually like a
Yeah.
medieval England vibe. So the idea of a black elf seems a little weird.
I don't
I mean,
know.
just
I don't
because,
know.
I mean, they'd have to be imported from another country, wouldn't they?
Of course. And I'm
I
wondering.
don't know. But I mean, that doesn't mean that the fantasy universe has to follow Earth's patterns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, granted, there are those dark elves that live in caves. I hate how people call them drow. I mean, Drow sure seems to spell drow, but it could spell dro, and that sounds
Well, in
less douchey to me. You know what I
well
mean?
in well in Norse mythology there was dark elves as well, so
But I mean, when I say that these dark elves were black, I mean literally the color black, not African American black.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, you're saying earlier
Well,
about importing. I wonder how much trade there was in Moors.
I don't know. I mean, I remember Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, had Morgan Freeman in it, and he was a Moor.
Okay, then.
which yeah, I don't quite know how they have Moors in Jerusalem personally, but anyway, long.
Jerusalem.
Let's
Oh
gonna
yeah, I guess
say,
he was in the
I,
war there, wasn't he?
to be fair, let's be honest. Like Robin Hood's a myth story anyway, so we can forgive historical inaccuracies.
Yeah.
I
Actually, I was
think.
looking it up, and it sounds like it has some real world basis to it, even if the actual story is fictionalized.
Sort of like
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, I don't know that that's true, that story. But I honestly don't know whether there was a historical Jesus.
Well, neither do I, but I'm
No.
not going to discount it out of hand immediately.
No,
Okay, but I'm
I'm.
also not going to say, like Jesus when I don't know that he's real.
I've got. Hmm. See, this thing kind of seems to cause a lot of arguments amongst the atheist community about
Yes, it does.
a historical Jesus. Now, I have always viewed it that I do not have a dog in the fight other than historical curiosity. I don't discount the historical Jesus out of hand. I think it's quite likely that the stories may be an amalgamation of several different characters. I think that's a possibility. Um, but I've seen a lot of, should we say, very, very bad history being presented on numerous sides of that argument, and I've got to say, a lot of it does come from the mythicists. By and large, there's some really bad history presented there.
Yeah, I'll give you that, definitely. Oh my, it's
Shadow Kitty, that's another thing, is like, different kinds of elves. Like, I remember growing up with short ass elves, but then, I encountered Tolkien where they're freaking tall, and I was like, now? So, but then when I think about it, say, for example, Santa Claus's elves, when you look at what they do and their physical attributes, those are gnomes.
okay.
Because gnomes
Okay.
are known as tinkerers. That's their thing, and they're short. Santa clearly has gnomes, and I suspect the Keebler elves may be as well.
Okay. Okay.
Just because they work. It sounds very gnomish, regardless of their like gnomes tend to be a bit stockier than elves, but if you look at the Keebler elves, I mean they look like they've been eating their own product, but they may well be gnomes. Now, granted, there's also those gnomes with the super pointy heads where like those hats are made to cover the point. So, 6 of 1.
Alrighty, yeah, okay. Oh my.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff you pick up when you consume fiction, which you need to do more of, Diana. Well, the thing is, you enjoyed The Princess Bride. I can't help feeling like you've been depriving yourself.
It's one of these things where I like pickles, but I just never tend to reach for them out of the grocery store shelf. One of those deals.
Okay, well, start.
There you go.
I'll just say then, Diane, I'm not even a big fan of the whole sort of say fairy tale kind of genre, but The Princess Bride is a perfect movie.
No, it's not. No
So,
spaceships, no aliens, no robots, no laser guns. That ain't a perfect movie by
well,
any
okay,
stretch.
it ain't Star Wars, but
Well, I mean, my usual go-to for movies tends to be a little bit spaceshipy, and so without those, I will never say it's a perfect movie. It might be
I
a
was
perfect
I was just
fantasy comedy movie, but it's not a perfect
yeah.
movie.
I was just on a stream with One Ring and Noodle talking Guardians of the Galaxy, so
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that movie kind of pissed me off after a while, not because of the movie itself, but because when I went to go see it, didn't quite realize it was part of the Marvel universe because I'd never heard the title before. I just thought it was a really cool looking space opera. So I went, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, that's Thanos, and people have told me about him,
yeah.
So I'm like, and then they folded them into like Endgame or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck, and I never watched that because I got so sick of trying to keep up with all the movies. They
That's
released so many at once.
and that's what I liked about the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, that you don't have to have watched anything else in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to kind of enjoy that movie. It's kind of stands out by itself,
But knowing who
know,
some of those characters are without any introduction whatsoever is a little difficult. Like, I know nothing about Thanos to this day, really, just the basics. But he was there, and no one told me who the hell he was. Like, they didn't really have an establishment for his character. So unless you already knew, you just had to go, okay, paper thin, superficial villain. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It would have been nice to have his background in the movie.
Okay, yeah. Well, I guess the whole thing with that, isn't it, where they're trying to get you to watch all of the movies so you know what happens when you go into any one of them, and they get more
But if
ticket revenue and.
but if you don't know who these characters are, you're not necessarily going to follow up, are you?
Yeah, there you go. And then,
I mean, I don't even know. Like, when I watched Guardians of the Galaxy, I didn't even know Thanos existed. Really, like, I might have heard the name, but I'm watching it and I'm going, who the frick is this guy? And who's that minion of his with the weird makeup on? They never really introduced anybody except or was it Nebula? Wait, which one was the blue chick? Like, I'm mixing her up with the
Nebula.
green chick.
Yeah, Nebula's the blue chick, Gamora's the green one.
Thank you. I could not pick up that name out of my memory.
that's really interesting when you identify characters by their hue. Yeah, that's the green one. It's like, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, what? Tell me an easier way to get people to know which character you mean if you don't remember their name.
Well, no, I'm not complaining. I apologize if I sounded like I was complaining. I'm just noticing that it's a rather interesting way to do it. Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but given how a lot of people sometimes go, dude, don't identify someone by their race. That's, well, fucking racist. Similarly, I'm now picturing marches for the rights of Technicolor Americans.
Yeah, but then again, see, like, I find it in cinema, I can't, like, sort of identified, identified Chewbacca as any other way than a Wookiee. So.
I mean, yeah, it's just I don't know. I think it's
No.
perfectly fine to describe a green chick as a green chick.
Mm.
That's just me. If you're green, you stand out a smidge.
Just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, there were a couple. There were a couple green chicks in the original Star Trek, and they kind of stood out. Yeah, definitely.
Thought they were blue.
Um, I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember the one that was. Uh, I have to go and look
Yeah.
now. I have to go and look.
I won't be much help to you here
Yeah.
because I'm not a massive Star Trek person, so I'm more of a Star Wars person.
Well, anyway, screw the original series. I'm thinking about Tasha Yar banging Data. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I guess they probably have some pretty good dildo technology in the Trekverse, but she still banged a robot.
Yep, definitely.
And yeah, she was under the influence of some alien thing that made everyone like weird, and I guess she got weirdly sexual. But even so, she banged a damn robot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Of course, now I'm picturing equal rights marches for cyber Americans. I don't know.
See, I saw this little video clip of a robot that was doing a pole dance the other day, but it was a bit weird because the head looked like Johnny Five out of Short Circuit, so it was kind of took me out of the moment there a bit.
Well, I don't think Spock was green in the first episode. I thought he was green when they were designing the show, and then they went, yeah, no. Like before they actually did the first episode. But as what's funny is people talk about like the uniform being command yellow, but that's actually green.
Yeah, that's the other one that I had noticed. Color appeared to change from viewing to viewing when I was looking at into my eyes, and then I'm finding out no, it was the process, the color
I mean,
process, whatever.
In person, it's very green.
Yeah.
But well, whatevs. It looks yellow. People have decided it's yellow, so it's fucking yellow.
What impressed me was the location of the emblem on the command uniforms would move all the time, and it's like, wait a minute, who's doing all these changes in uniform? I thought they were supposed to be, like uniform, but
well, here's something I just thought about. How come Trek communicators never have a private mode? Like everyone around you hears what that speaker thingy is saying. And what if you're in a stealth mission, an impromptu one where you have to keep quiet, and someone messages you, and all of a sudden it's broadcasting fucking everywhere, and your enemies are gonna hear it.
I don't know. Maybe they have different models, and you just don't see the stealth model every time.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's good enough, frankly. I mean, if it's not actually in the show, how the frig is it canon?
I always like the little communicators that used to go on the back of the people's palms in Babylon 5. That's what I always used to like.
But those were still broadcast to the air. I'd love to see someone get the communication, go, and then, okay, go ahead.
Alrighty then.
You know what I mean? Like as in, I'm holding in my earphone, speak.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, clearly this is unnecessary, but it illustrates the point.
Yeah. Oh my. What you looking up?
No, not participating in chat, but since you asked, I might as well say it by voice. Mage, it's pretty obvious that it's not obvious which character that is. How about you tell us whether it's Marvel or DC? I mean, that'll narrow it down, is what I'm saying. So, I mean, blue, red, and yellow. Which the hell superhero is it? Well, I guess it's Superman, actually, thinking about it. But really, I wouldn't have included the yellow so much. I mean, it is his belt, but red and blue would have made it so much easier. The yellow confused me.
Okay.
And I mean, he has yellow on the emblem, but still, I look at Superman, I see blue and red. I know yellow's there, but it's an accent rather than a base color.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I mean, blue's the base color for Superman, really, isn't it? Then red, and then the yellow's kind of like the
cape is red and it's pretty big. Plus, he's got the superhero panties, and those are red.
Yeah.
So, and I'm pretty sure he's not pulling on some tidy reddies. I'm thinking those are baked into the uniform.
I don't know.
Trying to think of an R word that replaces tidy in there for red. I don't know, restrictive reddies?
Yeah, there you go. I'm told...
Rictus reddies.
I'm told that the urban legend about the restrictive tidy whities and sperm count is not necessarily true, but...
I don't know. I heard some guys ask, what the hell is the point of the P door at the front of Tidy Whities? Because you got to bend your dick into a Z to use it? I mean, okay, if you say so, but that does seem a little weird.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've always been a little bit amused but mildly disgusted by, little kitty pajamas with the butt door at the back.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
They still do those.
I know. I just see them in cartoons and stuff,
Oh, my. You got me wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have to find this out now. Do those things still get made?
Well, let's see then. Let's see. Onesie with a butt door. Maybe that will or won't. Oh, hey, trapdoor pajamas here on Amazon, although they appear to be not just for kids, and that's mildly disturbing.
Well, yeah, I knew that they were also for rather large humans, yeah.
Yeah, adults. Just say adults.
But that's too simple.
To be honest,
oh, dearie me, I don't like this at all.
See, to be honest, the butt door thing might have worked for a lot of superhero costumes. I mean, this was I think it may have been one of the video games. This was addressed. It was a Deadpool game. He's just put on his entire, his outfit, and then suddenly realizes he needs to go for a number 2, and it's a bit awkward.
So, it says here, onesie, diaper lover, snap crotch romper.
Jesus.
With I Heart Daddy on the front, right over the tits. I'm sorry, but that's disturbing.
Yes, absolutely.
And I gotta say, the purple hair and the choker doesn't really help.
Eek. My word.
Also, can someone explain to me why so many people are after that thigh gap? I mean, so many women are like, damn it, I need to work out and starve myself to get a gap between my legs where my twat is. And I'm like, I don't find that attractive at all. I like it when legs meet in the middle. I mean, I'm not saying have cottage cheese thighs, but, don't be skeletal, please. I mean, I've been with a thin chick, and trying to have sex is like being poked all over with kneecaps and knuckles. Girls should have some padding. Not a lot, but enough to not hurt. I'm just saying.
It's amazing when you really think about the way the fashions get started, or the fads, or the preferences, or whatever the hell you want to call it. And I have to wonder, in how many of those cases are these things not liked by the majority of people in the street, but they're just promoted in I don't know, the what do you want to call it? The celebrities and shit.
Well, what I wonder is about all those fashion shows. Because I always thought fashion shows were basically advertisements showing off what's going to be in stores soon. But then I started seeing those weird, fucked up, artsy fartsy ones where someone walks out and goes, "Look at me, I'm dressed as a cloth ketchup bottle," or "Look at me, I have a harness that has someone upside down, so their crotch is in my face and theirs is in mine. And I'm just walking around with this like upside down person in a harness." And it's like, why?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that at one time the fashion shows were basically advertisements for what was going to be showing up in the department stores that September, but somebody took some bad drugs somewhere along the line.
I guess.
And I won't have any of that stuff. It's just no, thank you.
I mean, just look up things like weird fashion show and you get this shit. I mean, what the hell? It's like a a winter coat in the 90s.
Yeah.
Well,
look at me, I'm a cake made out of garbage.
Well, there was always like you said about new fashions. There was always a famous
the fucking
story that
a dartboard.
There was always a famous.
Go.
Yeah, there was always a famous story that the first time the top hat was ever worn in public, it was done and it incited a riot or something. It had a bit of a. Although I have some serious doubts. I've always got the feeling that story was a little bit of urban myth rather than actual history, but it was allegedly supposed to have caused a riot, and the first time it was worn in public in 1797. So,
oh my word!
I'd say this is from like the stupidest superhero series ever, but I just watched the first episode of MODOK, so I'm taking that one back.
What the hell is that?
Well, you know what I wonder is if these models ever just feel really ridiculous. Like they're walking around going, "What the fuck did I do with my life?"
I have to wonder. I do. How many of them are walking there saying it's a paycheck, it's a paycheck, it's a paycheck? Or
the fuck? That's hair. That's hair as lips.
Oh,
the fuck?
I can't believe this shit.
Why? How many drugs are these idiots on? I mean, I smoke weed like a champion, but these people are on some serious hallucinogenics.
My word. Amanda's here. Hi, honey. Yay! Yes, yeah. That is indeed Jeffrey.
Hi, Amanda.
Here. And I left you a link. So, shall I leave you another one?
Yeah, Mage, the first episode was maybe they get better as they go, but I should give it another try.
Oh,
I mean, I love Patton Oswalt. Don't get me wrong, I love Patton Oswalt, but just the premise, and honestly, as much as I'm an animator, I have a hard time watching that herky-jerky motion of stop motion.
Yeah,
I know that they a long time ago developed these motion control rigs to add a certain amount of blur that helps realism, where like as they take the shot, there's like some animatronics that move it a little, and so the camera picks up that movement and it helps. But even so, there's a lot of to it, and I don't like that.
Alrighty then.
And it is a really fucked up series. I mean, it's this Jewish kid who used to get teased because he has a gigantic head, and he eventually becomes this ego-filled supervillain who floats around in a like chair that barely gives him room to move his arms and legs, and it completely encompasses his gigantic head, so it looks like it's the entirety of his body.
Okay.
And he just keeps getting in his own way. Like, he really wants to be a successful supervillain, but like he keeps being his own worst enemy. It's pretty screwy. Here, let me show you a 10. Not that, this one. All right.
Eek.
No. Eek is a cat. This is MODOK.
Black about yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and again, I love Patton Oswalt. He voices MODOK, but and I think this is his mom, but I'm not sure. Yeah, that's his son. And it's just screwy because like a lot of people don't know he has a home and a family, and like so anyway, I mean, like, that's a thing. One of the first lines in the series is, where does he go at night? And then he like, you see a scene of him accidentally dumping the trash like out on the street in the suburbs. You know, like he's going, no one took out the garbage, and so he brings it out and it falls over and he's like, fuck. You know.
Okay then.
It's such a weird series, and like I said, the first episode was a little iffy. Maybe it gets better as we go.
Well, you never know.
Well, no, that's not true. If I try it, I will indeed know.
The one question you could always ask is, could it get any worse?
Yes.
Okay.
If nothing else, I could star Shatner for an episode. I mean.
Oh man, I have to wonder. I know it would never happen in the real world, but it would be. What if I got hold of Shatner and had him show up some Sunday morning? I want to see what he would
I'd grab
do.
a lightsaber. Be gone, evil one. But that's just me. I don't know. I saw him trending on Twitter yesterday, and I was like, please. But he had just written an article.
No.
I do feel it's guys like William Shatner that give dickheads a bad name, really. But
well, I just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone agrees he's a bit of a dingleberry.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So there's that.
Yeah, he has a reputation to maintain.
I still feel a little scummy owning the last season of The Big Bang Theory because he's in like 2 episodes.
Oh my.
But what you gonna do? I do love that series. I've watched it over and over during the pandemic just because, well, they did those studies that say it's like a security blanket, watching the same stuff over and over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And Manda, I'm hoping that's sarcasm.
See, when that first series first came out, The Big Bang Theory, I couldn't stand it, but I think over time it's kind of grew on me,
Well, I hear a lot of people go, oh, it's just nerdy blackface. And I'm like, oh, fuck off. It's actually kind of realistic. I've known people just like that in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody like Sheldon in real life, but I definitely know someone that reminds me of Howard. So
I've known more than a few Leonards.
Okay, then.
Actually, one thing I kind of vaguely realized is that in this show, like, compared to Diana, I'm kind of the Penny of this group, where she's a little more Amy Farrah Fowler.
Okay.
Just saying.
I've seen too little of The Big Bang Theory to quite get that reference.
And yet
Amy doesn't show up till like season 4 anyway.
Okay.
And yet you have the voice of Bernadette there, Kate. Sorry, you had to
I
put that in.
do not. I'm nowhere near that squeaky. I am nowhere near that squeaky. I mean,
No,
you've heard of. I actually
I
like
am
the
just
actor,
jesting,
the
Kate.
actress's real voice a lot better.
Mm.
But that's just me, because that is an affectation for the show. That high pitched voice she does.
Mm.
Like her real voice almost sounds like she smokes.
Okay, then.
Just say it.
Oh, my.
Well, sorry, Amanda. I mean, I don't really watch it for the scientific parts anyway. I watch it for the geekery. You know? I mean, I actually loved when Stuart became a regular, and I've known more than a few Stuarts. Hell, his awkwardness trying to date is kind of similar to my own.
That's if I identify with any character in that series, it's probably Stuart.
So, and you know, he's not a scientist either. He owns the comic book store. So, definitely my kind of people.
Okay.
Oh, and I hated Priya. Oh, I hated Priya. Actually, I'm not the biggest fan of Amy Farrah Fowler because, unlike Diana, she's kind of needy and shrewish, and she's constantly disparaging Sheldon, even though she claims to love him. You know, she always refers to like Star Wars and Star Trek as those stupid space movies. And I'm like, if someone that I was with described them like that, I'm dumping her ass.
It's kind of a deal breaker for me as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
especially as Amy's a fan of Little House on the Prairie. I'm like, no, you do not get to criticize Star Wars if you like Little House on the Prairie.
Well, and I mean, like like the Halloween thing, you know, where she says that she and Sheldon should have a couple's costume, and she's insisting on something uber romantic, where Sheldon wants to do sci-fi, and I'm sitting there like combine them and do like Han and Leia. It's romantic and it's sci-fi. But she insisted on like Raggedy Ann and Andy, Romeo and Juliet, and all that, you know. Wait, what do you mean because he's not a scientist? No, I like Stuart because he's a geek, regardless of whether he's a scientist or not. I like that he owns a comic book store. I like that he has an encyclopedic knowledge of the Star Wars expanded universe. You know, I think that's awesome, and I'd be happy to have him as a friend. So, you know, not because he's not a scientist, just because I can relate to him better.
Okay, then.
Just saying. You know, and of course that girl whose name I can't remember that he eventually hires and then starts banging, you know, she was pretty cool too. At first I wasn't sure because honestly she's not that attractive to me, but then she started talking and I was like, oh hi, you're awesome. You know, and she's a little bit cute on like if it's possible to be cute and bug-eyed, she manages it. Just saying. I know. I do enjoy that show. There's just something about it. Plus, that's where the whole concept of the Ricky Paws came from.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, I still made it up. It was not a thing on the show, but it like the end music, I was like, Ricky Pa, Ricky Pa, Ricky Pa, Ricky. And I was like, oh yeah, they're totally doing that with the instruments. So.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Also, well, you know, okay, actually, Diana, you're a little bit of the shamey of the Sheldon and Amy. Because, you know, they're like Sheldon looks for every opportunity to spew random facts at people, whether they want them or not. I sent you that link to the one where they interrupt him in the middle of like giving a speech about something, and you can see him like, he really wants to get it out. And then, like, when they finally let him because he's about to explode, he blurts it out in this long string. And at the end of it, he goes, "And you said you'd stop doing that."
That's me. I've got a tendency to do that.
So I don't know. I kind of it's like one of my few mean traits is I love shutting people down sometimes when it's pretty clear they want to keep going with this thing. I don't know. It's obnoxious, but well, it's a natural instinct for me, and it's hard to resist.
Okay then.
Wait a minute. You'd love to hang out with Angel. You mean from Buffy? Oh wait, you mean your kid? You mean your kid? Okay, sorry. My brain again defaults to the geekery. So, yeah. I don't know.
I've never actually had a chance to talk to Amanda's son, but from what I've heard, yeah, he will pretty much put anyone's knowledge of Star Wars to shame.
Well, I know I told the story about getting the Star Wars Trivial Pursuit for my birthday and wasn't allowed to play it after 2 games.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, Mage, I'm going to have to try that. Peter Dinklage. Okay, yeah, I see it. The thing is, though, a Ricky Pa is not just singing over the lyrics, but it's actually like a form of audio pareidolia where you're hearing words in what the instruments play. Like the literal sound of the instruments sounds audibly like a word. That's why at the end of the Big Bang Theory, I hear the guitars near the end, and it sounds like Ricky Pa, Ricky to me. So I don't know.
Okay, then.
I mean, there's no actual words there. That's why I call it audio pareidolia.
The one I remember from years and years ago are the talking guitars, where somehow the guitarist knew how to manipulate the strings and everything, where you actually did get something that sounded like words. They were actual. You could have a conversation with the guitar.
Be funny to try that with a theremin.
Yes, it would.
Probably sound like Stephen Hawking. Well, I mean, one thing I just suddenly got curious about. I wonder what it'd be like if you took dueling banjos and turned it into dueling guitars. I'm sure someone's done it.
Oh, it's been done.
Probably dueling bagpipes out there,
Oh,
Well, I only know one person in the community that plays the bagpipe, so it should be a Hops watch.
Okay, then. Where I was expecting...
yep, there it is, dueling pipers.
Where I was expecting to hear you go with that, Kate, was dueling theremins. Moo?
Sorry, I had myself muted simply because it might be copyrighted.
Foo. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're monetizing your videos, but I'll watch it later.
Uh-huh. Well, I've already...
Actually, yakety sax on a bagpipe or an accordion would be hilarious.
Actually, I've had my wrist slapped for stuff that people have let come through the audio, and well.
Back in Vermont, I knew this guy named Al who didn't play the accordion. He played a concertina.
Oh, okay then. Thank you, Von.
And it looks like an accordion, but it doesn't have the piano part at the end.
Okay, then.
Actually, oh gosh, I forget what I was like. Okay, I was talking to someone about like he was talking about keytars, and I said, "What if you combined a keyboard with an accordion, or And I'm like a keytar keyboard, And I was thinking, like, he was trying to figure out what to call that, and I was like, clearly it's an accordy board.
There you go.
I was
Hi.
just trying to say keyedian, and I was like, no, it's an accordiboard.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Grandma. Hi, Pete. Hi, Jack.
Or possibly an
Hi, Amanda.
accordiano. You know,
What
like
is she on
piano,
about?
but accordion.
Alrighty then.
And they're saying you need to check your mic again. It sounds fine to me, but
I just
and also hi, Von Rick.
I just kicked it up a little. Hopefully that's a little bit better there, Von Rick. Hopefully.
Oh, wait a minute. You've been here for a while, Von Rick. I just missed you
Yeah.
in the chat.
Hey, he's been here.
Okay, well, hi anyway, because, that's just nice and polite, and I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, the hail, the gang's all here, that sort of thing.
I listened to that by the Dropkick Murphys. I don't know if anyone else has sung it, but I know their version.
I have it on my phone. Yeah, I listen to a few of their songs.
I do like the Dropkick Murphys.
Me too.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a good their song "Shipping Up to Boston" is I like when I get up in the morning to throw my headphones in and listen to something really kind of not super powerful, but to just that goes enough that gets me going, and I like that song helps.
Well, I love their song, even just for the title, but the song is decent. It's called "Kiss Me, I'm Shit-Faced."
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know that one.
And it's absolutely hilarious, that song. Like, it almost sounds, like I'm drunk and violating consent, but it's really a guy just saying, wow, I'm pathetic.
I don't know.
There's a song by
I like
Avenged
Dropkick Murphys.
Sevenfold, where the guy's obsessed with his girlfriend, but he ends up killing her, but then still fucking her, but then she becomes a zombie and she kills him, and then they become zombie bride and groom together. It's really fucked up. It's super duper. The whole time he's talking about how he got a heater to warm her cold thighs because it's supposed to be both because she was cold when she was alive and then cold as he's fucking her when she's dead. It's so fucked up.
Jeez.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny, with the whole threatened suicide thing yesterday that I had to deal with. I don't know if you heard about that, Amanda, but someone I know threatened suicide, and I spent my Saturday morning trying to save her ass, which I didn't do, but she vomited up the pills anyway. So, but
in there.
But since that, and the fact that I was kicked off Facebook entirely because allegedly in 2017 I threatened suicide. I fucking didn't. But and a lot of people are like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Someone's suicidal, so let's isolate them from friends and family. That'll help.
Yeah.
That
is so stupid.
But between all of that, since apparently suicide has been a huge part of my world, and I don't want it to be, I've had this song, I think it's by Nerf Herder or Blink-182, one of those pop punk bands, is called "If You Don't Love Me, I'll Kill Myself." Oh, wait a minute, it was on the soundtrack to Dumb and Dumber. And the whole lyric is, "If you don't love me, I'll kill myself." And that's been running through my head all day simply because of circumstances.
Yeah. I knew a girl on Twitch that she had in the chat. The only people in the world she had were the people that she knew on Twitch. She was always on there. And but she was feeling bad one night and she did kind of threaten to kill herself in the chat. And they banned her for a month. So she had no one.
It's just sick. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, I've gotten banned for the stupidest shit. I mean, there was a thread where it was in an 80s group where a bunch of people were posting album photos. And for some reason, it was really popular in the 80s to just sort of lean like this on the floor, and there's that one picture of Burt Reynolds where he's buck-ass naked.
On the bear rug.
You can't see anything. You could totally show it on television. It's okay. But
It's
because their algorithm thought that it was just pure-ass nudity and violated community standards, I get a month's vacation. The worst part is I appealed the decision. They said, oh, yeah, we fucked up. But by the way, you're still banned.
That's
so fucking whatever. I cannot do Facebook. I don't do Facebook anyway. So I went on Facebook the other day just because I was looking for a picture, and it turned out to be fucking awful because somebody had tried to friend me that I did not want to see or talk to, and didn't want to see them to see the pictures that I had on my page, and it was very upsetting. I banned this person like fucking 3 times. He keeps getting new accounts. Oh God, fuck.
Well,
Yeah, sorry about that, Amanda. Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, most of my friends are on Facebook. I've lost complete touch with them. I have people on the Bionic Dance Facebook group asking where the hell I am, and I can't even tell them really. But to answer Mage's question, potential perm ban. I've appealed. I've asked for a review. I've sent them emails explaining what the fuck happened. Why they're wrong to do what they did. But I've been sitting in limbo for most of a month.
Sorry, Kate. It would be the same for me if I lost Twitter. I would lose like fucking everybody.
And I mean, the thing is, like, I didn't do any goddamn thing wrong is the problem.
I know.
Where it's like, and I've been banned for the stupidest shit. Like, I know I've mentioned it before. I'm saying it again. I was in a thread about dating, and I lamented that the problem is boys are icky and girls are psycho. They said it was hate speech.
What the fuck? One time I got a suspension on Twitter. It was my only suspension. It was like 24 hours because I had found this sign, a picture of a sign from someone from a Catholic church saying all the things that was bad, and I used the D word in it for lesbian because I quoted it, and I'm like, like you could see I'm speaking out against what they're saying. Like, what the fuck? So,
there you
go. Yeah, you can get banned just for saying Nazis are bad. Oh my gosh, did someone say Nazis? Nazis are bad. Ban the person who said Nazis, even though they said Nazis are bad, which, let's face it, is axiomatic. So, I mean,
you got fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene all over media and Twitter and everything, fucking saying that mask mandates are essentially concentration camps. Like, it's fucking stupid.
I've got this one Facebook friend. He's a minor celebrity. He played Cousin Oliver on the Brady Bunch, right? Very nice guy, and I love his opinions. But he has gotten month-long ban after month-long ban. Like, he'll be back from the ban for a week, and then instantly he's back in the Hooskow, right? And so, I mean, he's not perm banned. Is it because he's a celebrity?
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, look how fucking
I've been on television, so I'm a celebrity too. I was on frickin' Comedy Central, damn it.
Yeah, bring that up.
Look at the spout that Greg Locke spouts on Twitter. Say no more.
Oh,
well, Twitter is way more permissive. They're less puritanical than Facebook. Plus, I have a feeling they do more human review too.
I feel like too much just trickles through because they do pick some things that are like, why would you pick that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, apparently, after getting kind of frustrated with a homophobe and dropping a F-bomb, one fucking F-bomb, for 12 hours, only my followers could see my tweets. Because I told a homophobe to get fucked.
I was calling when they just changed some of the settings and stuff recently. I went to type something about him. It was a homophobe, and I called him a fuckwit. And then they did that thing where they ask, "Are you sure you want to use this language?" I'm like, "Yes, I do."
Mm-hmm. But Mage, even if they are puritanical, Facebook is worse. Is my point. Much worse. Like let's put it this way: with both Facebook and YouTube, I really don't know what the fuck the rules are. They're so nebulous.
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, I sort of know with YouTube, because they've decided that if you are a user, just a regular person at home, you're really only allowed to post like kitty videos and doggy videos and animation and fiction and shit, music, but you're not allowed to have opinions. If you have any kind of controversial opinion or you're trying to be a journalist, they will bump you to the second algorithm that deprioritizes you versus, say, CNN, MSNBC, and fucking Fox News. So, I mean, if you want to be that kind of journalist, screw it. I mean, they literally said we need authoritative sources because it's too easy to try to be a reporter from your garage or your basement. To which I say,
Yeah.
we want to
pretty
stop the spread of false news, so we're prioritizing Fox.
Oh my word! And then yeah, we've got education in the house here. Hi, Josh. How you doing? Yay!
I feel like your
Well, I
PhD.
mean, yeah, Diana. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but just because of the title of your stream you're on now, that's the old like Wikipedia warning thing for YouTube.
Okay.
What?
They all do that.
I didn't
You have it in
understand
the
any of
title.
that. What were you trying to say?
You know how
Well,
when like you put a certain word in the title and then underneath the video it'll have some kind of Wikipedia explanation?
I've
Yeah.
seen the COVID warning, yes.
Yeah. So if you
Yeah,
talk about COVID, usually I
same
get a
thing.
lot of them for climate change, obviously.
Mm.
So what
Oh,
is climate change? It's like if you've been to my channel, I'm kind of hoping you fucking know what it is. Leia, shut up.
yeah, Mage, I've seen the video of a YouTube CEO, and apparently they have more than one. And like she explicitly said it. Like I tried to quote it word for word. That's how explicitly she said it. So I
My.
mean, it's not a secret anymore, and it's freaking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I didn't say fucking there.
I don't
I
either.
guess it's what was in my heart at the moment. I don't know.
You've
I
got one
do
of
love your
those.
shirt, Kate.
Hmm?
I said I do love your shirt.
Oh, yeah. Never 100% certain whether I should wear it out on the street, but it is true.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't.
Oh. Hmm?
I couldn't get away with it because I'm. I say fuck a lot, but I'm certainly not the nice girl. So, well,
There you go.
Well,
No,
I mean,
I've
okay, actually, that's one of the things is like realizing that some part of me is just really a nice person. Like even something as minor. I was in the supermarket a few days ago, and I guess a dryer sheet or a like a Sani wipe had gotten out of a box or something, and my foot landed on it and slipped a little, right? And I'm like, oh, well, at least I caught myself. And I start walking away, and then all of a sudden I'm like, but what if someone else slips on it? And I stood there just pondering for about 5 seconds, then went, fuck. Went back, picked it up, looked for a garbage can, didn't see it, stuck it in my basket, and waited till I found one at the self checkout where people throw away their receipts. And I was like, fuck, I guess I'm nice. I don't like it. But it's
No, you've got a reputation to maintain. Come on, you can't be nice.
well, and yesterday I tried to save someone from suicide, even though I barely know her. I mean, I know her better than a lot of people, but still barely. And I'm like, why do I feel like this is my responsibility to do?
I know, and it's a very difficult one to ignore.
Cha! I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it won't be the first life I've saved, but it's definitely like another one. And I mean, okay, let's face it. Didn't really break down until last night because I dealt with most of this before noon. But it took a toll.
Yeah, yeah.
of course it did. Yes, yeah, I'm nice to my friends, but actually, no, Jeff would probably say otherwise.
To be fair, if you're nasty to me, it's generally I've done something to earn it, like do a Jar Jar impression or something like that, you know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so you fucking deserve what you get.
Yeah,
Well,
I admit it. I will hold my hands up.
Good.
well,
Me
Good.
tend not, me tend not like
I
it when man's angry.
I
Fuck you,
keep
Jeff.
holding doors open for strangers. I
Oh, I always
overtip
do
wait
that.
staff. I stay to the right even when I'm not, like, I don't drive anyway. I do it on the sidewalk just for convenience of other people. You'd be
Mhm.
surprised how many people are pissed off by that. Have you ever noticed you're walking, someone else is walking, you're both kind of in each other's way, and no, I take that back. You're walking, someone else comes out of a door and starts walking and decides to jump in front of you so that you can actively avoid them or something and everyone knows what's going on. Me, I just keep going. You know, I'm like, you stepped in front of my path. If we collide, that's on you.
Uh-huh.
You know, people usually move out of the way at that point. But I mean, it's like, why would you step in someone else's path when you don't have to, when you have plenty of room?
Well,
Because some people are stubborn assholes.
yeah, they're either clueless or, as you say, Amanda, stubborn assholes.
I'm going
Hmm.
with clueless. I mean, because it seems to be an instinct. One thing I've noticed, and I'm pretty sure they're not doing it on purpose. Again, in a supermarket, someone wants to pick up an item, and you know how like they'll have shelves, but sometimes they have a cardboard standee, right?
Uh,
They inevitably put their card in the most obstructive place possible
yes.
relative to the
Yeah.
shelves and that, but I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I think it's just an instinct. And I think it's similar to the instinct to jump in front of somebody because, you know, apparently that just sort of establishes a hierarchy of some sort, you know. But the sheer number of times, like I'm going 90 degrees to somebody and I just keep on going because I was first and they get pissed off. Why did you step in front of me? And I'm like, but I'm still going. And if you hit me, well, clearly I was there first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's not rude to step in someone else's path. It's rude for them to expect you to defer to them when you're there first.
Yeah, one of the things I dearly love is I don't like going there, but Squall Mart is the closest store to me. It's not an hour and a half away, literally, okay? But when I'm shopping there, so many times you will have the blockades of the carts in the in the aisles, and you will have them 3 and 4 in a row. You know, you're going, okay, let me see if I can get to the next place. I have to go down. Oh, it's blocked. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, it's blocked. Let's go to the, you know, I'm at the other end of the store by the time I get. I just it no, it's annoying. It's all it is. Annoying.
That was a confusing story because you started with I love something, I love doing something, but then it was fuck this place.
Well,
Well, that kind of describes animation work. I love doing it, but sometimes it's tedious as fuck,
well,
especially
that
doing
too.
lip sync and walk cycles. That it's just rote, like doing stuff. There's no creativity to it, really.
Yeah,
I mean, the best you
absolutely.
can do is give someone a funky walk, like the Martians. I decided, you know what? They're gonna walk like Shaggy from Scooby Doo, because he has a very distinctive, like arm waving walk, you know, and it's very sort of floppy. And I'm like, you know, Martians are weirdos in my world, so they're gonna walk like Shaggy.
Okay then. No Department of Silly Walks or whatever the heck that was. I remember
Mm.
The,
Silly Walks, but
the Ministry of Silly Walks.
there we are. There we are.
Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, like, well, I forget what I was gonna say, and that's pretty unfortunate. I don't know.
We are forever denied.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I got it. I got it. One thing that mildly worries me about the Martians, though, there is a line in the animation that describes Martians in a way I realize Asians have been described, and I'm worried that people will take that wrong. Because the actual line is, hey, you know what Martians are like. Brilliant scientists one minute, inscrutable mystics the next. Who knows what they were thinking? And I've heard people say similar things about Asians. So I'm a little worried someone will take it wrong. Especially since Martians have those big almond eyes, because they're grays. They're Zeta Reticulans, except they're from Mars in the Quinverse. I don't know why that's funny, but okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Amanda hasn't had her drugs yet. Come on, get in there.
No, Amanda's had too many drugs. I am desperately trying to hold on. So if I have to stay stoned as much as possible right now, I have had a fucked up few days. So
yeah, I don't know. I'm doing a cleanse because weed is starting to not affect me at all.
Yeah,
but I kind of want to walk to the dispensary this morning. I kind of, or this afternoon or something. I feel the need to divorce myself from reality for a while. So
yeah, I get that. I super duper fucking get that.
I wish acid wasn't dangerous or illegal. I mean, I hear about bad trips and people frying their brain, but acid trips are fun. I've only done it 3 times, but they're still fun. I wish you could do it casually and not hurt yourself.
I have an acid story. Oh my god! So
I've got a few, but never.
I've never done it. I don't think it would be a good idea for me just because my depression is so bad. But my son had a friend that this was a couple years ago, and he was a couple years older than him, so he was 17 at the time, and he had spoken about to me because Angel's friends, they can all they come to me with stuff they can't come to their parents with. So he wanted to talk to me about acid, and I was like, that's probably not a good idea, especially at your age. Maybe take some time. It's not a good idea. Don't do it. But he ended up doing it anyway, and he's a really, really fucking tall kid. He's 6'7" and just big, the big guy. So he took 3 tabs instead of 1. And he was by himself too.
Oh, Jesus.
So he calls us. It's 2 a.m, and Angel and I have to spend the entire fucking night just talking him down. It was, oh God, it was so bad. So bad.
Well, so, I mostly remember some visual warbling, some warping of what I could see. And I remember a lot of physical sensations, but I don't really remember anything emotional. I don't know. Maybe I didn't take enough.
I did take mushrooms once.
Yes.
But they just made me sleepy. So that was it.
They've been doing studies with shrooms, and they're saying that they really actually help with mental health.
Well, what is it? What's the ketamine? Ketamine is literally the only thing that's ever worked for my depression because they used it for a couple of my surgeries. That was the only time anything's ever. So they have ketamine infusions and stuff for depression, but they're not FDA approved yet, so they're super expensive for that.
Well, much as I dislike eating mushrooms in food and stuff, I really want to try shrooms. I've heard good things, and apparently they're also pretty safe. So
yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, just you put yourself in just make sure you're in a sort of good position where you're not going to do anything stupid whilst you're on them, kind of thing.
Can't help it. I do stupid things just naturally, but okay.
I know, right? Leah, for fuck's sake.
I mean, perhaps don't take really powerful shrooms in a foreign city where you don't know where you are, some people might have done. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not even going to leave my apartment if I get my hands on them. So
yeah, okay, so yeah.
I will say my first acid trip I did with a spotter.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And a friend of mine insists up and down that there's this stuff. I'm trying to remember it's like a 3-letter acronym. I think it was DMT or something. And he was saying if you do enough
Oh
of it,
yeah.
you will have this like fucked up meeting God experience. And I'm really curious. So
Mm.
You don't need dextromorphine like the stuff in cough syrup, do they?
No,
I really don't. I
it's
don't
it
know. I
sounds
know it's vaped.
it
Oh,
sounds
okay,
like
no,
Kate's
then.
got it. I mean, DMT is dimethyltryptamine. It's close relative of lysergic acid diethylamide.
Oh, okay.
Well, I did a tiny bit, not enough to have the experience he described. And you know when you stand in a doorway and you press your arms really hard against it and you walk out and your arms naturally go up?
Mm.
Well, after vaping like 1 or 2 little hits of it, and apparently you need like 5 to have that experience, it felt like my neck was doing that in one direction.
Ugh.
Like I couldn't stop turning my head, and I was like, until it wore off. So
Oh,
No thanks.
boy.
I'm good. I don't need to see God. No, I'm good.
Well, I'm just really curious what it's like, because the way he describes it, it's like serious amounts of joy or something, and I could use that.
There was a trend, I guess, on TikTok. I read about this that kids were taking a shit ton of nutmeg and like almost dying over
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
it. Yeah.
I
Like they
now
would
I
take
want to
a
eat
whole
like
fucking
a
bottle of
1,000
it.
poppy seed bagels and get like a heroin trip.
Oh yeah. No, like they think they're gonna get high off of it, but it shuts down certain cell receptors in your body, and it starts to fuck with your kidneys. So
Yeah.
Oh,
they
Yes,
end up in the hospital like
I
real
had
quick.
that was something I'd heard at school about smoking nutmeg or something, but yeah, I never tried it, never put much stock in that story.
well, I've heard some people talk about like the weird ass shit they tried to use to get high, like smoking banana peels.
Oh no, that's garbage.
Well, of course it's garbage,
That's
but they
rubbish.
tried it, and I've heard similar things. Like, oh, if you do enough of this, that, and the other thing. Like, I felt getting high off of the air out of a whipped cream canister, but and I think they've changed it so you can't do that anymore. But I've experienced it. And it was fun for about 5 seconds, and then I'm done with it. But you hear a
Yeah.
lot of stories about whippets, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think psilocybin is in acid.
It's not.
But
It's not.
No, it's not. It's not. So
yeah,
Psilocybin
I
is
mean,
its own whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be cool if you could just buy it bottled. But then again, I don't know what form these mushrooms come in. I've never actually seen a
Yeah.
magic mushroom. I don't know what they look like.
you go to Amsterdam at any time. You can buy like the psilocybin truffles, which is
Yeah.
so I said, it's an
Psilocybin
experience.
what? I lost the word after psilocybin. It sounded like cripples.
truffles.
Oh, supplements?
The truffles. They're
Oh,
fungus.
truffles. Okay.
Mm.
I heard supples and I thought it was an abbreviation for supplements.
Mm.
Mm.
I don't know.
Now, when I've had shrooms, they've been dried in a plastic baggie.
It's always a plastic baggie, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it
I mean,
is.
I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, suppose you get stopped by the cops. Wouldn't it be nice to have an opaque bag?
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I mean, like when I
Sure.
go to the dispensary, they always give me a paper bag.
Alrighty, that works well. I
Yeah,
actually.
and it's kind of like the people who have their booze in a bag.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Yeah, 'cause that
Cops
always
can't harass
trips
you
them.
for it, I guess. Well, I seem to remember, and I think it was in To Kill a Mockingbird, where there was one dude who everyone thought was the town drunk, and it turns out, like, in that bag was Pepsi.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was To Kill a Mockingbird, which I love calling Tequila Mockingbird. And if there isn't a movie called that, probably porn. I'm very disappointed.
I was thinking that probably porn.
I haven't
Oh.
seen.
Yeah.
I have.
Seraphim, I wouldn't want to live in somewhere that puritanical.
Fuck off.
Well,
The
well,
state's
that's where Amanda lives.
wonderful. We have women and black people have so many rights. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I know. I always wonder because it's like you don't seem to have much of an accent there, Amanda.
I'm
but
not-
you hear those people. I live in Georgia. One of those.
Amanda's not a
from
native
Connecticut.
Georgian.
I'm not from this fucking goddamn forsaken place. Fuck no. Fuck
Where
no.
are you from anyway?
Connecticut. I always say
I
we're
had
New
relatives there
Englanders
once.
together. Even though I know some people don't fucking consider Connecticut New England, which is stupid, but whatever.
I mean, I kind of get it, but they are wrong.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I'm surprised New York isn't part of New England, frankly.
I know. And then, like, because a lot of growing up, it was always, living in Connecticut, it was always stuff happening in Connecticut and New York and Massachusetts. It was those three states. So that's also why it kind of surprised me they didn't,
I'm sure this
involve
isn't
them.
the origin of the name, but it is kind of amusing the irony of calling it Connecticut. It sounds like scissors with glue on them. I don't know.
Yeah. That's how I always spell it in my head, even still to this day. And I grew up in Connecticut, went to school, undergrad in Tucson. I ended up here because of them, my parents. They when they retired, they came down here because my brother lives in Atlanta, but my brother never sees them. So
the existence of Tucson implies the existence of Yosan.
Okay.
Spanish, you see.
yes, I was thinking that.
Two, yo.
Yo. Yes.
Yeah.
I love living in Tucson. I think that's probably, and Angel does too. He has asked, a million times. He actually wants to go to my alma mater. So hopefully we'll end up moving back there when he goes to college.
The only thing I know about Tucson is the state it's in. That's about it.
It's beautiful.
It's okay.
So apparently it's in a fairly decent state then.
Well, Diane, I lived in Marana and the foothills. I didn't live in the city. So, I mean, I did when I went to school, but where I lived because we lived there as an adult when Angel was little, because my partner worked for the National Solar Observatory, which was run out of the University of Arizona.
And I'll just say to Seraphim in the chat, no, not all Georgians are bad. You do help make up for,
Well, it kind of seems weird, though, Amanda, that you're living in, the former Soviet Union.
Wrong, Georgia.
It's not that progressive.
Yeah, I actually think there's a Georgia in Vermont, like a city. Well, town. Vermont doesn't have cities, but
Yeah.
I mean, like what's between town/village and teeming metropolis? Like, I guess you could say city, but it's still too small to be a city.
The town I grew up in had 2 gas stations. That was it. And one blinking red light, one 4-way red light stop. That was the only traffic light we had. So
that sounds like where I was raised until I was 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But then I moved to the burbs. You've heard my description.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like living in the country, growing up in the country. I think that was a good place to grow up, but I don't think I could live there as an adult now. It took a while because I live in like suburban Atlanta area. So it took a while for like Uber Eats and stuff to start working here. And I can't imagine living without shit like that now. And you wouldn't get that out in the country. So,
well, let's put it this way. Until we moved to the burbs, I lived on a dirt road that wasn't too far from, I believe it was Rural Route 2. Like they didn't even bother to name it.
I
You
lived
know,
on
it's
rural
just-
Route 1 on a dead end road.
So,
yeah.
but I mean, let's put it this way: because it's a dirt road, the Google Earth car hasn't gone down it, so I can't see the old place.
I can't either. We tried. I was looking at our places with a friend of mine, and that was the only place we couldn't pull up was my.
Also, Google
First
Earth
place.
VR does not have the Principality of Sealand in it.
Oh,
Yeah, I know, right?
gotta petition them to do something about that.
Like
You mean
at least have the 3D model, even if you don't have Street View.
Yeah.
that's that? Hold on, am I right here? Sealand. That's that little weird sovereign state that's basically a disused oil platform off the coast of the UK. Is that
That's
right?
the one. That's
Yeah,
the one.
and I'm a member of the aristocracy. I am, in fact, Lady Catherine.
Oh.
Okay.
I can show you the certificate if you like. So there's that. It sounds like they're moving towards being officially recognized by enough authorities to be its own sovereign country, which
Yeah.
means that would literally be nobility, like actual nobility. It wouldn't just be an expensive piece of paper.
Yeah, I remember because it officially became like, well, they called it, they became a principality thing in 1960s, I think, but it's effectively, it was, yeah, it was like an old offshore fort or oil platform or something that it became privately owned.
Yeah, well, it was an abandoned like World War II fort thing.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah,
I've s-
and some guy just like claimed it with like squatters' rights or something and declared himself king. It's great. The only problem, though, if it really does become a like a recognized kingdom or whatever, the titles are not actually hereditary. Not that I plan on having kids anyway, but
Mm.
it's like it'd be nice if it was more than just a novelty.
mm.
And
Well,
maybe it will. Maybe
I mean,
if
we've
they
got,
really truly get recognized nation status, or rather, if we do, maybe they'll change the policy. Maybe they'll go, well, now that we're real, those titles are also real. They don't come with power, but well, actually, they kind of do. You can temporarily buy a section of the platform, and that is now your like fiefdom or whatever, and so you probably have sovereign power over that. But like, what are you going to do? Put stickers on it?
I see. I believe there's something similar weird thing with Scotland or something where you can buy a square meter of land and become a laird, or Scottish equivalent of a lord,
But
But
well, what I'm
don't
hoping is that if there's going to be any of the recognition for Sealand, that it happens before the support.
Stop. I asked them. It is not Sealand. It is literally Sealand.
Sealand, I'm
Sealand.
fine. I hope that
yeah,
it occurs before those support pylons rust all the way through. I've seen pictures. It's not looking good.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. Still, it'd be interesting.
yeah. It used to be Fort Ruffs, HM Fort HM Fourth Ruff. Basically used to belong to the Royal Navy, but there's a lot of like, should we say, like coastal forts or whatever around the UK from various periods of time. I mean, not far from where I live, you've got a number of um, forts from like the 19th century, because apparently we were still paranoid about the French invading, even though they had no intention of invading at that time. There was a stupid load of coastal forts built.
Mm.
All right.
Well, and also it's about 12 kilometers off the coast, which is actually technically
Yeah.
international waters. So that's why it can be its own nation,
Mm-hmm.
like why it doesn't actually belong
Yeah.
to Britain anymore. So there's that.
Oh yeah, so it's off the coast. Yeah, it's just off the coast of Essex, and sort of. But
Yeah. Well, the thing
be
about
on,
those Scottish
to be
titles,
honest,
by the way,
you could be you're quite happy to be a citizen of that because the nearest town to me is Gravesend, and yeah, I wouldn't want to be part of Sealand.
well,
So
I did ask about the Scottish titles, and they said it's just as much of a novelty as Sealand,
it
except it
very
like
much
does
so,
a
yeah,
charity or something. Like it's not a
yeah.
real recognized title. You are not literally part of the aristocracy, the peerage, all of
Oh
that. It's
no,
just
no, you're not buying yourself a seat in the House of Lords, no. You
yeah,
know,
and I also asked. They said there's no way to do that. It has to be inherited or like bestowed by the crown or some shit. So,
yeah,
and
it's
they're probably
well,
not going to do that for someone who's not British.
yeah, it's a bit weird because yeah, it's either this I'm trying to think what there is in the House of Lords. There's like hereditary peers, people who've been given it as an honor. I believe the Church of England still has 26 seats in the House of Lords. You know, like, the Lords is are equivalent of the Senate or whatever. But it's not our upper chamber is basically not elected.
Hmm.
So it's a bit of a fucking weird hangover from feudalism we've still got, you know.
But I'd love to be able to get a real title somewhere. Like as in if I spawned, I could literally pass it on. It's actually official. But I mean I looked into a bunch of different countries that are offering titles and they all said, "Nah, you can't just buy one." I mean, it's funny because I've heard, like, I think it was in a sci fi story, there was something where you could buy a title in some space empire and it cost a buttload of money, but once you did it, you're really a lord or a noble of some
Mm.
sort. Oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute. That might have been the
Let's put it
Dragoon
this
series,
way.
the Vlad Tolter series by Stephen
Let
Bruce.
let's put it this way. Officially, you can't buy a title in the UK, but there was a little scandal a number of years ago called Cash for Honours in the UK, which kind of suggests otherwise. You could buy yourself, you could buy yourself a peerage, which is a seat in the House of Lords, or a knighthood or whatever. Yeah, so that was a bit of a political scandal going back about 10 years ago in the UK.
Well, can you be made a knight without like kneeling in front of the queen, getting tapped on each shoulder?
No, no, you still got to go through the ceremony of that, but it's you've got there's a whole bunch of it's a weird thing. Even I'm not entirely sure how the whole honor system works in the UK. It's all a bit fucking weird to
Stupid.
me, and it is. Yes, Manda, look, Manda, uh, I'm proud of being British, but goddamn fucking royalty and that shit is just an anathema to me. I just fucking don't get it.
Another thing, if you do something like really awesome for the UK, but you're not from there, can you still get knighted or do you have to be British?
Yeah, there have been like honorary knighthoods, like it was his name, the singer Bob Geldof. He got one because he's technically
Hmm.
a Republic of Ireland. He's technically from. He got a
Well,
knighthood for like doing live aid and stuff like that. But he can't officially call himself Sir Robert, you know. So it's
Lame.
I
still
have this
fucking.
That's
weird
that's
feeling
It
though.
is
Isn't
lame. It is lame.
didn't Glenn Close get knighted? Or am I thinking of someone else?
no.
I don't know.
I have
I'd
no idea.
love to see Sir Harrison Ford. I think he'd
Yeah.
make a great knight, or maybe a duke. No, he would be an earl.
No, he
Yeah,
would be a
that's
duke, so you call him Duke
the
Ford.
earl's the same. An earl's the same thing as a lord. So it's the same.
Mm.
It's basically the same rank. The same. It
This is
comes
so
like.
stupid. Then why do you have different fucking? You know what? I don't care. I don't care.
Okay. Well,
Just don't.
Earl
No,
comes from
no,
a
don't.
Scand.
No, I don't want to know.
No, no.
I don't need
I'm
this
in my.
stuff coming to
I'm
my
in my
brain
element
right
now.
now.
It comes from a. Basically, it comes from like an old Scandinavian term, jarl. It was like Viking term, for lack of better words, and so it's kind of a mixture of like old English titles and Scandinavian. It's all a bit fucked up, but that's kind of the origin of it.
Stupid.
But I mean, it's just like a hierarchy of power in it. Like, Duke is
Yeah,
above a
I
lord
mean-
kind of shit.
I mean, I mean, see, I thought our country was so fucked up because you could be a complete idiot and then become head of state just based on who your father was. But then then I saw George W. Bush become president of America and thinking maybe we're not as fucked up as I thought we were.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I like people in here. The fact that you can vote with your emotions at the forefront is kind of frustrating. Like, I
Yeah.
wish people who voted would do it purely logically, but of course we're dealing with humans, so whatever.
Look, come on, look, if we could vote, if people voted logically, Brexit probably wouldn't be a thing here. So
Yeah. Isn't it going away again though?
no, we're out of the European Union officially now. So,
I
but
could have sworn you guys had like decided. Nah.
it's a long thing. No, it's a long thing to get into. But see, I think there was a lot of good reasons why to leave the European Union, and there was a lot of good reasons why to stay. But the whole thing got because of we'd had 20 odd years of right-wing newspapers feeding us anti-immigration crap, and it was all the EU's fault. The whole thing become a referendum, like a blooming xenophobic referendum. And that's what was so disgusting about it.
Well, I don't know. It's so weird. I'm just glad to be, part of the aristocracy. So there's that.
Well,
I love it.
you might get a vote on whether the Principality of Sealand joins the European Union.
There is that.
Actually, Kate could end up being an MEP.
That'd be pretty awesome. Right now, there's one thing that title is good for, because you can get an ID card, and that ID card has gotten some people upgrades on airplanes. You present your ID and the Sealand card, and they go, "Holy shit, you're a noble? Want to go to first class?" Like, that has literally happened. So I want to get that ID. It's like $35. And like, the next time I fly, I'm going to order one.
Okay.
So just putting that in the sorry, I was just putting that in the chat there. Hashtag bionic dance for MEP.
Gosh, I should try to get that.
The European Parliament could do with you.
I should try to get that trending on Twitter. Bionic dance for MP. It just doesn't help that here in the U.S. NP means military police.
Yeah.
I mean, I have trouble with those short acronyms too, because a lot of the ones in California overlap with sci-fi stuff, like SD for San Diego or Star Destroyer, SF for San Francisco or science fiction. After a while, it gets a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because you get people saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to SF." I'm like, "You're going to that Galaxy's Edge theme park?" Oh, San Francisco.
When I moved here, people would call it ATL, and I hated it, and now I fucking do it. And mostly in text, I don't usually say it out loud, but when people are like, "Yo, I'm going to ATL," it's like, what are you talking about?
Manda, do you know what? I told you that I used to do US Civil War reenactments.
I've seen pictures.
Yeah. Well, did I ever tell you how a friend of mine almost got into a fight in America when he was, obviously, because we did the Union troops or whatever, and a friend of mine
fucking hope so. Still weird.
Damn right.
Christ,
I'm not gonna wave the goddamn flipping stars and bars shouting the South is gonna rise again. Crap, no. But
Stars and
one-
Bars is the actual flag.
yes, I know. I'm well aware of this.
Okay. Okay. It sounded like you were
I'm-
describing the Confederate flag, like
No,
you were trying to.
the Confederate battle flag, yeah. But the Stars and Bars was the first official flag of the Confederacy. There was two
Not
more.
Confederate. No, 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 no. U.S. flag is Stars and Bars,
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not. That
isn't it?
no.
Stars and
I
Stripes.
Right.
Oh,
Stars and
you're right.
Bars
You're
was
right. You're right.
the
You're right. You're
first.
right. I was mixing up
Yeah.
stripes and bars. That's
Yes.
I'm gonna blame lack of sleep.
Okay,
But
then.
yeah, there was someone on there's some guy from I don't know, Tennessee or something, and he had on his buckle it said CSA, and like he said, what's that? And my friend said, well, what does that stand for? CSA. He said, that stands for the Confederate States of America. He says, oh, okay. I thought it stood for couldn't save Atlanta.
Oh.
I'm like, oh my god, we had to get him out of there fast. Because, Landis, you probably know, mention General Sherman's name down where you live, it probably could get you into a bit of trouble.
Sounds kind of like if you actually go to the state and call it Oregon to someone's face, you can get your ass beat for that.
Yeah.
And I've
Is
said it
Oregon-
before. You guys don't seem to believe me, but I've heard stories.
That's weird.
Well,
It's,
I mean, they pronounce it Oregon,
Yeah.
and I can make an argument for either pronunciation. You know, like dragon versus polygon. You know, those all end in the same letters and they're pronounced differently. But apparently, people are pretty proud about it. It's like go into that other place and call it Louisville instead of Louisville. You see what I'm saying? It's like people can get pretty snarky about how you pronounce their shit. Go to Vermont and pronounce it Montpelier.
Lebanon. People.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my.
People are proud of where,
I mean-
where they're from, I guess.
You'd think the South would have realized they came in second in that war and give it the fuck up.
It's so weird that they won't even call it the Civil War. They call it shit like I heard it the other day. This is
the
the
War
first
of
time I've heard
Northern
it called
Aggression.
the war between the states. I was like, what?
Oh no, they used to
That's a
feed
new
us.
one.
They used to feed us that when I was in grade school. They called it.
Well,
the war
Usually I
between
hear
states.
the War of Northern Aggression. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
like
that's
you
the one I hear all the time is War of Northern Aggression. I've heard
But
it
the
said
war-
ironically, but I've heard people say it and fucking mean it.
Mhm.
It's so like, and they really do. Like, I'll go walk around town. We have a Confederate statue in town. In fact, when Trump made that big deal again during the pandemic about taking down Confederate statues and shit, the whole fucking square was packed with people just standing there protecting it. Like, any of us in town really gave a fuck enough to go after it or anything. No mask.
Hey, I've
no
got an
nothing.
idea. Let's put up a statue commemorating a guy who really wanted to enslave a bunch of people based on their skin color. And we're going
Yeah.
to defend it to the death. Yeah, okay, fuck off.
Stupid. So fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
It's everywhere. They're so
Now,
proud of it.
the one I used to always hear from like the South or whatever was Second War of Independence was the one I used to hear
Ugh.
it. One I used to hear a lot. Which is I think kind of what they were calling it at the time. It's what
No,
Southerners called it at the time.
Kate.
Well, it's like all those Nazis who can't accept that they lost World War II.
Oh yeah,
Huh.
that one too. But no, Kate, you said you were kidding. No, the street in New York, from which the district gets its name, is also Houston.
No. I typed in Houston, not Tun.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Houston.
There you go.
You know, if I was gonna do Houston, I would have been T apostrophe N to indicate
Okay,
glottal
okay.
stop. You see.
Yeah, because that's what excuse me, that's what Soho is all about in New York, south of Houston.
You know, I still don't. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah, I've
don't
heard
know
it
how
called
that
Houston
became the
some
art
places.
district. I often wonder how places become a something district. Like, how did Hillcrest and Capitol Hill become the neighborhood of their respective cities?
That's an
Yeah.
interesting one because I don't know about how it's done anywhere. And how
I
did
think people just like, that feel they, they find a place that they start to feel comfortable because they know they'll be accepted by the people that already live there. And so more people just move there.
Actually, you have a point. Capitol Hill in Seattle is getting super gentrified because the people that do that shit were like, "Wow, Capitol Hill is super popular. Let's all move there." And apparently, there has been a chase around Seattle of the cool kids and the yuppies who want to take part too. And like the cool kids say, "Fuck off! We're going to this part of town now." And eventually they realize that the party has moved elsewhere and chase them down again. And it's like, really, guys, can't you just leave us alone? You can come play with us, but stop getting rid of all the mom and pop shops we love so much. Our favorite coffee shops are all gone. Our favorite pizza joints going away. Oh, because you guys are fucking putting in sharper imaging crap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys think you do gentrification well. Here's a good example of the UK. The slum where immigrants from the Caribbean were shoved in London when they first came in the 50s, and the scene of the first ever race riots in the UK is now like the most upmarket place in London where it's like celebrities live. It's a place called Notting Hill.
Huh.
That was but the Hugh Grant movie or whatever, and they're all upper class kind of. That was they still have one thing left of that called the Notting Hill Carnival, which is very much a good sort of like multicultural celebration. That was literally a slum where all the immigrants from the Caribbean who came in the late 40s, early 50s were shoved, and it was like the scene of the first massive race riots in the UK. That's gentrification. Now that's gentrification. See what's happened there.
Is Notting Hill a place where people not? Like, what is knotting? It sounds like a present tense verb, but
I have no idea of the origin of the name of that place. I really don't. But
I don't know. I don't get a lot of the British place names. Like Stratford upon Avon. That one, and it's like okay.
Stratford's the name of the town, and Avon's the name of a river in Britain.
Yeah, but you go over to the United States, we don't have anything called like that. I mean, maybe one or two places, but it seems to be like the proportion of US to UK having, there's those wacky ass place names is high. I mean,
yeah, that's quite a regular thing in the UK. Like with upon there's a river thing, like there's Stoke upon Trent. Newcastle upon Tyne probably, but most people just call it Newcastle. But that's like a really big city in the UK. Its official name is Newcastle upon Tyne.
Seem to remember there was something. I think it was booze or something that came from there. I remember it vaguely from an episode of Blackadder or something. Maybe Red Dwarf.
There's a river. Booze is obviously alcohol, but there's a river called the Ouse in the UK. In England, but
that's weird.
Well, no. I mean, Newcastle Brown. That was it. It was Red Dwarf. Newcastle, it was like brown bottle. You don't like smash it on a table and stick it in someone's face and say "Stitch that, Jimmy," or something like that was the line. But yeah. So Newcastle Brown bottle. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like beer.
Brown Ale. Newcastle Brown Ale. Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
It's a pretty crappy drink, actually. But
okay, well, be sure to wipe afterward.
Okay.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I thought it. I shouldn't have said it. That's very childish and juvenile.
Yeah, because you're never childish and juvenile, Kate.
Yeah, I know.
You guys have fun.
A big overgrown kid.
Well,
Are we all?
No. I know some people who take adulting to the next level.
Oh well, then they're boring.
I'm gonna I'm going to have to jump off in about 5 minutes or so
You guys.
myself. So
Aw.
See you later,
no
Amanda.
camera. Fuck off.
Well, I
Bye,
may
guys.
Take
turn
care,
into
honey.
a pumpkin too. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I seem to be without a
Yeah.
list.
No, it's probably for the better that we kind of dissolve pretty soon. Yeah, because even I'm fading. It's probably still a little bit of the shot from Friday, but
There have been times I've like deliberately not I passed out, like went unconscious, but I mean like I lay down on the floor and try to sleep because the cats will come up to me.
ah,
Or at least Xander will. Although Columbia's getting a bit more aggressive about seeking affection now,
yeah,
where after Xander was brought into the house, she was like very standoffish. I still think she was punishing me for bringing in an intruder, but now she'll sit on this computer over here and meow, and unless it's mealtime, what she means is she wants attention. And yesterday, unlike usual, I was like petting her head, and she followed my hand onto my lap, where usually she gets her front paws on my thigh and then goes, nah.
okay then.
So, progress, if nothing else. But, I like to just lie down over there, and Xander will come up to me, and sometimes he lies down and uses my hand for a pillow. So.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. That is what I need to get. I need to go shopping, and I need to get new pillows. I kill pillows. I mean, I beat them
but you also
senseless.
thrash when you sleep.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I mean, I could use some bigger pillows, but
oh, come on.
Well, I mean, it'd be nice to stick out a little more. But I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm not going to go drop a bunch of money for surgery, but I would still like to do something about it.
You're just fine. You are just fine.
I have to jump off
Yeah, but
now,
you would
guys,
say that
so,
anyway, Diana.
Okay, Jeff, you've got to take off
now. So. Yeah, I just ordered some food and it's just arrived, so I've got to jump off now. So.
Okay, mealtime. That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by, honey, really, and everything.
Right. Yeah, cheers. Right.
Wow, I didn't expect to yawn there. I've been minus on sleep for like ever, but the last 2 nights it's been like 4 hours, and I'm just wiped.
Okay, then. I don't
Thus,
know.
floor passing. I mean, I guess I could go into my bedroom. Xander comes in there too, but I don't know.
I don't know, Sarfim. You say you need a new pillow, but you're trying to keep money for when they finally get the car fixed. If that's the case, then it's either a cheap car repair or some very expensive pillows. I'm not sure which.
Well, either that or it's like, okay, I've got just enough money, but if I spend this much, I won't anymore, but at least I'll have a new pillow. It's not a guarantee that the pillow will break the bank. It is possible it will make affording the repairs impossible.
Mm-hmm.
It's like for want of a penny. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for reminding me. I know it's 5 years off, but I really should start putting a little bit of money away from for renewing my passport. But that's another thing to take care of.
And no, you don't know it's 5 years off.
Huh? What?
And no, you don't know it's 5 years off.
Yes, I do.
I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about being able to travel for the pandemic and like without it affecting you.
Well, what I'm speaking of is support for my name and everything from the State Department, because I got the passport originally when.
Hold on. My issue is the 5 years part.
Mm-hmm. I got the passport.
So why 5?
I got the passport 5 years ago. U.S. passport has a 10-year lifespan.
You said it's 5 years off. That usually means the future.
Yeah.
So why are you? So you're not getting it to travel in 5 years. You're just renewing it. In 5 years.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, it sounded like you needed to renew the passport just to travel.
No, I need to renew the passport so I can officially have my F from the State Department, basically.
Oh, okay. See, that was not clear. Your purpose for the passport and why the 5 years was just sort of left unsaid.
Moo.
It's like I needed a lot more context. Hey, Xander. He loves playing with twist ties.
Well, the story goes that when the orange piece of shit was elected, the I forget the name of the trans organization, the big one. They put the word out, if you can, get a passport because we don't know what's going to happen with the rules, who will recognize what, but at least if you can get a passport in your name, not the one in your birth certificate, the one you use, that would be somewhat, with the F, that would be so much the better, which I went and did.
Can you not get an updated birth certificate?
No.
Okay, because I got some friends in Vermont who can.
I was born in Ohio. And Ohio is one of 3 states where they refuse to do anything with the birth certificate.
Well, I mean, that's just puritanical bullshit.
Yes, it
is. Okay.
Yes, it is.
It's like, okay, you are going to be labeled with the thing you know you're not for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's that whole idea of otherizing trans folk that I find so vexing, I guess. Because I'm like, you're dehumanizing people. It'd be like saying that black people are 3/5 of a citizen or whatever.
Yeah, there you are. Yeah. You thought they'd be done with that shit by now, but no.
Well, but it's not official anymore, is my point. It's not a government thing anymore. Now they're equal in the government. And we are talking about bureaucracy here, not just public opinion.
Right. But in Ohio, it's governmental.
Yes. And that is some governmental bullshit,
Absolutely.
like officially, legally otherizing anybody is bullshit.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like homosexuals, for example. I looked it up. Did you know it wasn't until 2003 that gay sex was legal in the entire country, that you couldn't throw someone in jail just for, getting a happy from someone of the same sex?
Oh, I didn't realize it was that late. Okay.
2003. I actually had occasion to look it up yesterday.
Okay,
and
then.
I mean, you want to talk about some bullshit. Arresting people for what they do in the bedroom is bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, who has to know in the first place? I mean, who is looking in the windows to initiate these actions,
Well, I mean, whether they are or not, I mean, whatever's happening, the fact that people want to be all up in your sexual business and not in the fun way is just so much crapola.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. It's what I mean. When I really break down what the right wing is all about on these issues, is they just can't handle weirdos. They want a simple, easy to understand, everything looks exactly like what it is kind of world. And they're trying to use the legal system to oppress anyone who offends their sense of normalcy. So, that's just, I mean, because I don't think there will ever be convincing a right winger to share and play nicely with the other kids. I think they will perpetually decide that the other must be stopped.
Oh yeah.
It's like, because if we don't stop them, they will stop us bullshit. And I saw an interview with some right-wing asshole in a town meeting where he said, oh, the left all want communism. That's what they want. They're always attacking this weird caricature of the left that like the tiny fringe might want, but the base of the left doesn't. They're reacting to something that doesn't even exist.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all, as you call it, the lizard brain stuff.
Yeah, I can't even hear them over the sound of their knee jerking.
Now, what really pisses me off, well, I'm sure everybody remembers that I'm adopted. It is easier for me to get my original birth certificate than it is to have my current birth certificate amended to reflect my gender.
I think it's kind of wild. You can't go to a different stop that you. I can't believe you can't go to a different state and get an updated birth certificate like that. I mean, I know it has to be from the state where you were born, but it's still like you go to another state and get a driver's license there.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
I went to another state and got my name. I was for a while under the impression that I would have to go to Columbus to get my name, but no, I did it here. So yeah.
Well, I mean, that makes a certain kind of sense, though, I guess. I don't know.
Wait
It
a minute.
seems to me that you should probably have to go to like a federal court to get it changed rather than local.
Vonrick just said something here. In December 2020, a federal judge invalidated an unconstitutional law banning sex changes on an individual's birth certificate within Ohio. You mean to tell me I could go to Department of Vital Statistics and get my birth certificate amended? I'm all for it. And while I'm at
Hey, you
it,
know
I'll get
what?
my original.
Wacky idea. Instead of waiting for your passport, get a real ID. You know, the one with the star on your driver's license that
Okay,
acts as
yeah.
a passport?
Yeah.
Get one of those. It's easier. I mean, I was thinking about doing it, talking about birth certificates. I couldn't find mine. I eventually did when I cleaned the place, so now I have two. But I had to order it from Vermont because, you know, again, you need your birth certificate to get a passport or to get the real ID. And you know, I was like so frustrated because I knew what town I was born in. But it turned out that they hadn't digitized every record yet. And so my birth certificate was like sitting in a file cabinet or a warehouse somewhere. And so they eventually had to hunt it up after like a week. They sent me a copy. But you know, I mean, now, like I said, I have two, so I could totally go and, yeah, I wonder if the old one's now invalid.
I would guess that it is.
But I can go to, well, why would it be though? I mean, it's the same document, same info. But regardless, I could go get that real ID if I wanted to, and maybe someday I will, but probably post pandemic. Because what am I going to do? Travel to a foreign country now? I don't think they'll let me in.
True, true. Yeah,
I
if
mean, I am double vaccinated now, shot one, shot two, but it probably isn't enough.
I mean if I live long enough to do it, I wouldn't mind going up to Toronto again. It's been years since I've been there, and
And it is so fucked up that you need a passport to get into Canada now. I remember in the 80s, you could just drive across the border in some place. There's a couple of places where they don't even have the customs booth, you know?
right.
In fact, there's this one fucked up building in, I want to say Derby Line, Vermont. It's a library. Half of it is in the
Yes.
US.
Yes.
The other half is across the border in Canada. And I told you to stop saying yes until my sentences are finished. Well, I'm sorry. It's annoying. But yeah, it's kind of messed up. You can walk through the library and just cross the. I bet you could open a window, go through that, and now you're in Canada without having to go through customs. But there are a couple of roads I know of, usually in like Franklin County or some crap, where you just keep going and all of a sudden you're in Canada without any warning. The only way to know is license plates and street signs that are in fucking French. You know, so well actually they're bilingual. But bilingual. Like you will see stop and arrêt. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing it that right, but there's a T on the end, so who the fuck knows? And I don't know if that double R in French is a rolled tongue sound like in Spanish, but I fucking do it. Arrêt, you know.
I don't know. You're so sexy when you do that. You know that.
Rutabaga, ruffles have ridges. That commercial stuck with me all through my childhood.
And what is it that the
Yeah.
reference have ridges, and then the other one answers right.
But there's no phlegm gargle. It's all tongue rolling.
Okay.
Rutabaga. Ruffles have ridges, not rutabaga. They're not speaking Yiddish. Oh
man.
You know what? I should put this somewhere.
There you go. I didn't get one of those. I feel left out.
Actually, I got 2 of them, but I don't know where the second one is. Also, this is my vaccination card, and I don't think it's for number 2. And I don't know where my number 2 shot is. I could have sworn it was on this thing, but I guess not.
Well,
if they ask for proof of my vaccination, I'm not sure where the damn card is.
Well, I got.
It must be in a computer system somewhere, though.
I got the log for both of them on one piece of paper.
Well, there's space for shot number 2 on this thing.
Yeah.
Right? But I guess they didn't sign it.
Oops, you might want to have that looked at.
Then again, this doesn't even indicate if it's shot 1 or 2. I forget what date I got the shot on, and that could be a 19 or a 14. I think this might be shot number 2 because that sounds more right to me.
Wow, that's
because let's see. Actually, I can find out rather easily. I know who gave me the ride, and I still have our conversation. So,
yeah, mine is all nice and clearly done, and the lot number for the shot number 1 is a little less than legible, but other than that, we're okay.
Oh yeah, this is definitely doctor handwriting.
And the other thing is they even laminated this for me.
They didn't have that machine here. Where the hell is messages? Oh, that's... Wait. Oh, there it is. The symbol just looks funky.
Now, what I don't know is, I'm assuming, but are you supposed to carry this thing with you wherever you go, in case somebody wants to see it?
Okay, this is not it. This says March, and I got the second shot on May 14th. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and it says right there, that's the location. The Petco Park is where I got it done. All right, I got to find number 2, because I remember having it. It might be like in the back pocket of some pants somewhere, which means it probably went through the wash. Or it could, like, who said it? Seraphim there. It could be in my wallet. I don't know.
Moo.
Wait a minute. How did these end up all the way over here?
They were trying to run away from home.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's in the cards.
Okay, then.
Which is what these are. So, you remember I made my own custom deck?
Yeah.
And it's based on Quinn Redshift?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's those.
You're going to market that?
When the animation comes out, I just might.
Okay, then. Sounds good. I like
but
it.
Right now, it's kind of pointless because no one even knows if they like Quinn Redshift. That ain't it. Right kind of paper, wrong document. Maybe it's over here. I'll find it. I don't know. You kind of have to have the second shot, Mage. Oh, wait a minute. No, you're talking about hey, I'm talking here. Oh, you're talking about the one shot. What is that? Johnson & Johnson, is it?
Yeah, that one.
So, yeah, okay.
Oh, my. Oh, God, I'm old.
I don't know how long we'll need them, Mage. Because, like, I think eventually you can get, like, a check mark on your license or some crap. Or some official, like like license shaped and made out of similar material card. I don't know. Or I think it might be printed on passports. But I think there's something that indicates, yeah, I'm vaccinated.
Well, I could see where you would have it printed on passports, yeah, but that's not necessarily going to be this week.
Well, no, but I think well, Mage said, how long will we need these vaccine cards? And I'm saying, not sure, but I think something will replace them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying now.
Yeah. And I have a feeling, and I know everybody gives me a hard time for being so pessimistic, but I have a feeling that the concept is going to be with us pretty much forever.
Well, it's the same thing that happened with what you call them, airport security after 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me started on that bullshit.
Oh, I've had the conversation with Purple and everything. Yeah, I think he's got a relative that works airport security and has a lot not nice to say about it. As in,
Mm.
it's ineffective, and the only reason it's there is the
Oh, it's a
appearance.
joke. It's all for show.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what he says.
Like they've admitted this, that it does nothing. I mean, like, I forget who it was that pointed it out, and I actually think it was a stand-up comedian, but had a point, is that why would you take all of these allegedly dangerous items and throw them in a bin all together right there at security?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what if someone showed up with a bomb that doesn't look like a bomb? It's like embedded in some contact lens solution in a container that's bigger than security will allow, and it's on a timer. And the idea isn't to blow up the plane, but to blow up airport security.
Yeah.
That could happen, maybe, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of why it's such a joke, is it doesn't really prevent anything. If they were genuinely worried about these dangerous substances, they'd pick them up and move them to a safe location.
Diukorostu, yes.
But it's all bullshit, and it makes people waste a lot of money on stuff they didn't realize wasn't allowed.
And Mage, have you not been reading the papers? Fauci's already talking about a booster in a year. I mean, not that I'm going to get all right wing on it or anything like that. I mean, as I said earlier today, I get a flu shot every year. You know, what makes that so much different to getting a COVID booster every year? But then you've got people who are going to go all over the place with it.
Sorry, someone's wrong on the internet.
Happens pretty much every day.
Yes, but this is a specific case.
You know, I've had the thought, yesterday it occurred to me, as a matter of fact, in one of those rare moments that I actually was awake for a little bit. What would be wrong, really, with a COVID colony? You know, the way we used to have leper colonies and that sort of... Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to take the precautions, fine. Go and live in this colony. But of course, even public health takes a back seat to these right-wing arseholes. I don't know. I just don't.
I mean, I think we should have a right-wing colony, frankly, because those people want their own, like, homogenous, and I think the word is actually homogeneous, but whatever. Like they want their own little world. Actually, they probably want their own big world. In fact, they want the whole planet. But why not just give them a place to be right-wing without interfering with anyone else? Because that is my problem with the right wing, is they have an image of what the world should be like, and they want to legally enforce it on people who don't want to be like that.
And I've got a great idea. I mean, you want to move them to another place, mid-Pacific, 10,000 feet down. I mean, really.
No, I'll just give them something Australia-esque and leave them there.
Man, it's just too bad there aren't any places like that on this planet anymore.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure there's a couple of unoccupied islands.
Yeah, but they're not
They,
big.
they can go all Lord of the Flies on themselves. They probably will.
Yeah, but these islands aren't big enough to take everybody, man.
Mm.
Love the gold ring reference. Well, I don't care what the right wing would call it, Mage. I mean, just stick them there.
Sorry, I'm explaining to somebody that like gender neutral pronouns are no good if you have to research them to find out what they are. You know, it's like, why not shout one or two from the rooftops so that people will know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Florida's going to be a whole bunch of fun pretty soon anyway, but what the hell?
Well, when was Florida not insane?
Yeah, you got a point there.
Sorry, I'm explaining to somebody exactly why the 90s sucked. So, oh geez, I don't want to deal with you anymore. Sorry, it's Twitter is just.
It's the poo poo.
It yeah. Von Rick, I'm assuming you mean 1 or 2 shots, and I'm pretty sure they said it's a booster, so 1. At least that's what I know about boosters.
I thought Von Rick might have been referring to something you said earlier about shout 1 or 2 from the rooftops about the pronouns.
Oh, that. Yeah, well, if there's 1,000 of them and people expect you to use all of them and yet they all mean the same damn thing or at least really close, I think no. If you're going to be gender neutral, let's have 1. We don't have to get super specific to the point where there's 3 people in the category who have their own pronoun, which seems like what they're trying to do. It's like, okay, here's one pronoun for non-binary but leaning masculine. Here's another pronoun for non-binary but leaning feminine. And here's non-binary 100% neutral. And I'm like, fuck off. Just give us 1 or 2 if you want to, like, but the, like, 12,000 that we're supposed to know at this point, it's too much. You can't do that. I mean, I understand people rebelling against it. Make it easier. Less effort. That's all. Less effort. I mean, I know some of you desperately want to fly your freak flag high and to be completely individual. But that'd be like if I said, okay, I'm not just a lesbian, I'm a demisexual lesbian, and therefore here's my pronoun. I'm never going to do that. It's unnecessary minutia.
Oh my, I just don't know. Well, am I wrong on this one? But I get the feeling that at one point, and I can't pin down exactly when it happened, but there were things that were progressing forward, and there were some improvements being made, and then suddenly everybody wanted their improvements all at once.
That is the problem, is the all at once thing. I'm sorry, I understand we want freedom and pride and all that shit, but some people need to be eased into it. They can't have it all at once. It just wigs them out. They get like xenophobia from it. And I'll be honest, I was having a conversation with somebody on Twitter, maybe an argument, about like public displays of like BDSM.
Oh, I saw
Leather
that. Yeah.
leather flogging, and like in public. And I'm sitting here going, look, I don't care if it's not sexual. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, apparently. I don't care what the reason is. If you're flogging people in public, the normies might blanch at it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, that should be kept to the bedroom. I know what you think. It's not, but I mean, for now, the general public just ain't ready. And it sucks, but we kind of have to deal with their emotions. I mean, if we ever want real progress, we have to give them a little space to get used to it, and incrementally. Otherwise, we're just going to have the right wing constantly in our face,
Yep.
constantly trying to block this, that, or the other thing. And even if BDSM ain't sexual, people think it is because of all the leather, because of the stupid hats and all that stuff. And let's face it, that's the stereotype. You're not going to convince them otherwise by setting up a booth at a parade and showing people what you do. It's not going to happen like that. You have to let them get used to less weird things until you get there.
Yeah.
Well,
Mage says by trying to get it all at once, you could even cause things to go backwards. Well, guess what, Mage?
Well, that's what I've been saying.
Yeah, I think we're already at the point where we're seeing things go backward.
Well, look at all the anti-trans bills. It's
Wow.
abuse to help your child feel comfortable in their skin, but apparently it's not to lop off a foreskin or clitoris.
There you go.
I mean, they might bend on the clitoris, but let's face it, they look at circumcision as, well, that's just what you do.
Yeah.
It's like, you're just born. Now time for an amputation.
And yeah, in the 50s, it was promoted that way, basically. I mean, nobody asked, do you want to do this to your kid or anything? It was just assumed that it was going to be done.
Oh, they do it without telling the parents.
Yeah.
And the thing that strikes me as funny about it is how much anti-Jewish sentiment we're seeing. And it's like, oh yeah, you're circumcised. That's a Jewish thing, dumbass Nancy. It's like the irony tickles me a little. Also, I didn't know this, but apparently they don't do that in Europe.
Oh, okay.
Or at least not much. I've seen, now granted, it was a comedy routine, but I've seen comedy routines about like the drawbacks and benefits of circumcision. The way he put it is, I got my son circumcised so that when he's older, women will enjoy having his dick in their mouths, which is a terrible reason, but...
Okay, then.
Yeah. And, I see, Von Reg. G. Well, that's another problem. How the frig do you pronounce those? Most people don't know. It's got to be something a little more intuitive, a little easier to use. This is an end user problem. The developers of these pronouns aren't considering how other people will react to being told to use them.
I don't know. There are many things.
I think we should just come up with one pronoun that's gender neutral for everybody. I know there's some languages that do that.
Yeah, I don't know how to speak any of those languages. I don't know how they do it.
Well, they just have a pronoun that's gender neutral. Why would there be a procedure?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there is that tendency to look at people in a gendered manner.
Yeah, well, sure, but as I understand it, these languages already do it. So it's not like, there's a struggle now to figure out how.
Oh, right. No.
And again, why not? I mean, if they developed this language, which they almost certainly did, long before trans was so in the public eye,
right?
then, but I mean, why not do it? Why not? Why do we have to
Well,
categorize people by their genitals? If these people felt they didn't, then they didn't.
that's what I wonder about. How did it get that way? I mean, I'm always still
Maybe an excess of egalitarianism?
okay. Maybe it
I
is.
don't know. I
It is the
mean,
foo-foo.
I'm in favor of it.
I don't mind really.
You know what I suddenly realize? In Japanese, I really only know how to say me and you, not that person over there, or even a group of people.
Oh,
That I don't have. I don't have that word. I can't say them in Japanese. Them over there,
well
or that person over there.
you just did. I heard you say them in Japanese.
You're not funny,
I know.
so stop trying.
I'm very trying. Oh, yoy. Oh, what can I tell you?
Well, I think the problem is you're telling me too much.
Yeah, okay. We got the perfect Abbott and Costello going here.
No, we don't.
No.
They were better at this.
Okay.
Mm.
Yes,
It's
sir.
funny because while I know Abbott and Costello fairly well, really know not a damn thing about Laurel and Hardy. Like I could pick them out of a lineup, but that's about it.
Uh-huh. Okay, I'm in more or less the same compartment.
But people usually put them in the same, box of comedians.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and Mage, I've seen people like anything that has HE at the end of it for a pronoun seems to be J, but I don't know in this context. So I'm guessing XHE though is J. I'm not sure. I think I've seen it with a Z as well.
Okay.
I don't know. I did just I would find it difficult to walk around going, "Oh yeah, J is over there." It sounds weird, especially since it doesn't help that there's a name Shay, so that would get mixed up a fair bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I've seen the international alphabet where you do have X representing that sound, so that came
Hmm.
naturally to me. But I know not
Well, but
everyone.
it's also a Z sound, like
Yeah.
Xander.
Uh huh.
So there's no you can't assume. But I
Mufti.
have heard people say J. I wouldn't actually use the X for a J sound without like an H after it.
Okay.
I mean, like I wouldn't do that with a Z either without the H. It's like an SH instead of an S, but with Z.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I will die on this hill. It ain't fucking Zed. To quote Pulp Fiction, Zed's dead.
Okay then.
Zed is now a name, not a letter.
Mo. Mo.
So there's that. I wonder how that split happened between Z and Z.
I don't know. Maybe it's
It's probably one of those things where nobody knows, but there's a buttload of guesses. I've encountered way too many of those.
I wonder if it's the same sort of thing at the same sort of time as dropping the U from words like Kohler.
Why would it? It's the same number of letters. The whole idea of dropping the U was to save on ink. Like in newspapers and crap.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I had forgotten all
Yeah.
about that one.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's really funny? I got curious for some reason because I was like, why is that town in Vermont called Montgomery? I know Mont means like mountain, But who the hell was Gummery? That's a weird name. I looked it up, and it turns out that the actual translation is Gomer's Mount. Now, the town Montgomery in Vermont is about as rural as you get. So it's kind of on the nose, that name. Hey, look, it's Gomer's Mount, surrounded by Gomers. I don't know.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, it's just a shame it's not like Montpfiffery, you know? Ah, well. Or Mount Cletussery. I don't know. How did Cletus get to be like associated with rednecks like that? Not to mention, what's the other one? Well, okay, there's an Enosburg in Vermont, and don't think people don't call it Penisburg, but Enos, like the sheriff deputy dude in Dukes of Hazzard, and it just, that's a weird name, Enos.
Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of like what was the thing I saw? Oh man, there was some other really fucked up name, and oh yeah. There was this one dude that I was looking at a profile of him, and it's not like it's not the first time I've seen the word, but or it's not the first time I've seen the word or the name, but who looks at an infant and says, "Oh yeah, Purvis."
Okay.
Think that kid's not getting teased in school with a name like Purvis? I mean, okay, the guy was like a black rights activist way back in the day, so I'm sure that making fun of that name will get some people like losing their shit. But I mean, still, I wouldn't want to go through life with the name Purvis, especially since it's a boy name. But even if it wasn't, oh hey, Perv, how you doing, Perv? What do you do in the bedroom, Purvis? It's just not. Yeah.
Well, interesting here. It appears that Cletus, as a boy's name, is of Greek origin. The meaning is illustrious, called forth, or invoked. Now, I have a wonder if the association was made with these hyper-religious Southerners and that sort of thing.
Well, Southern names are pretty fucked up sometimes too.
Yeah.
And all those hyphenated girl names, Mary Beth and Sue Ellen and shit,
Uh-huh. Well, for some reason, the Southerners are really big on that two-part name thing. Because, yeah, you got Sue Ellen and you got Jim Bob and you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but I think it's weird that they do it so much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of like when you get those British nobles where like they have 17 names for their ancestors. It's like, it's like Robert Colin, freaking Eunice or whatever, Smith the Third, and it's like, really, dude? Do you need that many names? And I don't think you can even do that in the US. You can only have like first name and surname and middle name, and sometimes only middle initial. So, I mean, like, and it's not like you can add a title that isn't like Mr., Ms., or Miss, or whatever your gender neutral version is. Like I can't be Lady Catherine on my birth certificate.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how official it is, my Sealand title cannot be part of my U.S. name.
Yeah, well, I think that may or may not have something to do with the Constitution.
But even so, like, what if someone is literally a lord or a lady, comes to the U.S. and gets dual citizenship or emigrates? They're still like a freaking lord or whatever.
I wonder, do you have to surrender that title when you renounce your citizenship? Or actually, it wouldn't be citizenship because it would be subject, but that's, splitting hairs.
Yeah, well, anyway, it's just, and then I'm always kind of thinking it's a little like I get wanting to keep your last name when you get hitched, but when they hyphenate it,
Hmm.
I don't know. It seems silly unless it's like Smith Jones, because it's if someone has like this like 11 letter Italian name dash 20 letter Jewish name or whatever, it's like what Tortelli Moskovitz. That's a lot of letters.
Okay.
It's just it's hard to. I mean, it's clunky to spell it. It's inconvenient to spell it. I would take the first initial of each name and with a hyphen.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
Oh my. Okay, mate. Bay just noticing there's about a minute lag between the chat and the video. Hmm. Maybe a little less.
Well, that could possibly be just on Mage's End, though. I mean, I've noticed if you ever have to refresh a stream, it sometimes goes back like a minute or something. I don't know if that. Well, I mean, I'm sure. I know there's a little bit of lag just naturally. I don't know if it increases much if you don't refresh your browser, though.
I Isn't I not knowing. Um, I haven't even checked for lag in a good long time.
Well, I don't know what good the knowledge would do you.
Yeah, that's why.
It's like I'm trying to remember what it was. There was someone who kept checking the status of something that they couldn't buy, like a stock or something, and it's like, why are you doing this to yourself?
Mm.
Or they have like an order they put into some mail order company, and it's supposed to show up in 2 to 3 weeks. So starting at 2 weeks, they're checking the mailbox hourly.
Yeah, I mean, in the U.S. anyway, you have mail delivery only once a day, for fuck's sake.
Well, I'm not just talking about USPS, though. I mean, UPS, FedEx, Amazon, whatever. I mean, you don't necessarily know when they're showing up. Well, Amazon, you kind of do, but it's like if you're waiting for an item and the range of when it shows up is really wide, and they don't have a tracking system. It's just like, well, it can be a little frustrating because you don't know if it's there or not.
Okay. That's interesting. Rome says, my name is Jerome. I just tell people I'm called Rome. I feel that the J is pretentious. All right.
Sorry, I had to quote some lyrics there. It's
my.
just yeah. I forget, is that REM? I want to say that's REM, but it feels like it could be the Bangles or the Go-Go's. Definitely not Bananarama, by the way. Oh, and I hate that pronunciation of Rama. I like Futurama makes sense, but Bananarama? Yeah, it's kind of like that show Bananas in Pajamas. Fuck that. Bananas in Pajamas.
Tayo korostu.
Pajamas just sounds so stupid.
Yeah, and there is a significant lag, by the way. When you pounded the keyboard on that last letter, it took maybe 15, 20 seconds to show up on the side chat. Okay.
Oh, and you know what? That's not a clicker. This is a remote.
A moo.
I'm just saying, it's like there are these weird terms for things that people sometimes use that just make me twitch.
All right.
I don't know.
Then.
Well, I mean, you've heard me talk about soda versus pop, for example, and I will never, ever, and I don't know if this is related, but I'll never call a grandparent Pop, even if he was still alive. That was Grandpa Tony,
Tayo
not Pop Pop.
Korostu.
But of course, the entire rest of the family called him Pop Pop. And I'm like, dude, I'm the oldest cousin. This is my job to decide what we call Grandpa Tony. I don't know.
Nakapolakiste. No.
And yes, I kind of fell into a bad New York Italian accent when I started saying Grandpa Tony, because, he's from Sicily, or was.
Moo.
So, there's that. I don't have any grandparents left. My last step grandparent died of COVID.
Ike.
Mind you, she was really old, like crazy old, and we hadn't seen each other in years, so it was hard to call it a loss. But
I
But-
think all of my grandparents had died by the time I left Cleveland, so 1988 at the latest.
well, okay. I don't know. I don't know whether I should be miffed or not that I wasn't in the will, like anyone's. All of my grandparents. I don't know if they snubbed the other cousins too, but I got diddly.
I don't know. I don't say much about that sort of thing because I was certainly not in the Slimy Bastard's will.
Oh, and you know what? Okay, I don't know if people even do this anymore, but I remember my grandfather, he was in World War II, and he gave like one of his service medals to one of the cousins. And I'm like, why would you do that? They don't know what it means. There's no significance to them. Not really. So you should keep it. It's your heirloom. Why? I don't get it. And he did this in person. It was not, like in the will. This was like decades ago. I'm trying to remember which cousin it was. Oh, it doesn't matter.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, it's like, it just seems silly. It seems like a waste. I mean, like if he was expecting some sort of like patriotic emotion coming from it, I think he was disappointed. I think he was.
Okay. Yeah,
Now,
Von Rook says most people have a simple will, spouse and children. That's it.
not always, though. I mean, especially like rich ass relatives, which I didn't have, but still. I don't know. I know what my parents' will says, but I kind of hope they last a little bit longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, better having them around.
I mean, they're in their 70s now, so it's starting to get kind of lottery-esque at this point. You know what I mean? Could be a surprise.
Yeah.
But they're both also fairly healthy, so I figure they got at least a decade left, if not more.
Well, the Slimy Bastards made it to the early 90s, so...
I expect my dad will. I don't know about my mom. She's kind of falling apart. Like one of her eyes has gone completely blind. But I mean, my dad, he's still like biking 40 miles a day kind of thing. So, I mean, I imagine he's at least in shape cardiovascularly.
Okay, then. I miss biking. I really do. It's just the hills here are insane.
I actually have a bike. My dad left it here. I should probably use it someday. The only thing is, like, the bike lanes are barely existent in this town, although they're sort of expanding them. Like they're taking some multi-lane streets and putting these little tiny islands in them so that on one side is traffic, on the other side is bikes. I'd feel a lot safer doing that than I ever will riding with the cars, which I see people doing.
Yeah,
So
I've been in some interesting situations on the street where somebody would actually, what appears anyway to be intentionally, drive me over to the curb to where I actually hit the truck mirror and have a great bruise from it and everything else. And, it's all sorts of fun.
Mm.
But I
Hmm.
don't know.
It's afternoon. I'm starting to think lunch soon. I mean, I had breakfast for once.
Oh
Actually, a
yay!
decent microwave burrito,
Oh
breakfast
yay!
burrito. But
Oh,
but I'm getting hungry because it's freaking noon.
jeez. Now you say, yeah, I haven't had burritos in a dog's age, and I don't know where that
Well, this
comes
is a
from, but
breakfast burrito. It's nothing like that Diablo burrito I've described.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is stuffed with like eggs and bacon and sausage and crap.
Oh, sounds tasty.
It is, and I mean, for microwave food, it's decent.
Alrighty then. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
something I can get at the local Squall Mart is just the burrito skin or burrito wrap or whatever you want to call it, stuffed with bean paste. You get them 12 to a box. You stick it in the
Hmm.
microwave, and it's.
Never really liked spreading the bean paste on a burrito. It seems too messy. I mean, like a burrito is messy enough all on its own.
Mm-hmm. Easy my no to
So
know that.
there's that. Hmm. You know,
Well,
it's weird. Like whenever I'm in a mood, I keep wanting to like buy myself a present, but I don't know what. Like I look at my Amazon wish list, and I'm like, most of it's clothing, some of it's movies. There's really nothing to interact with on that list. And one thing I went looking for, I mean, we live in a more technological age than ever before, obviously. And
mm-hmm.
I was like, do they have robots you can just buy? And it turns out, yeah, but they're not really like programmable. They're like with a remote and shit.
Okay, okay.
I'd love to get a properly programmable robot. I think that'd be fun. But if they exist, they're probably expensive like you wouldn't believe.
Oh
And
yeah.
but the ones I found were like thoroughly sophomoric. Like they weren't even as sophisticated as a Roomba.
Oh, darn it.
Now I suppose I could find a safe place and get the drone out again.
Okay.
But that's probably a hell of an Uber ride away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right, Mage. A lot of times I say we should wrap this up and then we get lost down rabbit holes.
uh,
But I'm just not in a place where I don't have energy. I slept 4 hours last night, and yesterday was stressful as fuck. So
I don't know.
I'm not even sure what I want for food. I know I bought some, but I think it was like mostly this.
Okay.
I sometimes buy two of those at Ralph's, and I don't know. If nothing else, it keeps me going out when I need more.
Mm.
Kind of like going to the dispensary, actually.
There you go. Well, actually, I'm counting the
Wait,
day. Hmm?
well, Rome, there. I don't want someone to program it. I want one that's programmable. I don't know where to get. Yeah, I don't want a sex bot, but if they have AI not prurient bot, I'd like one of those.
Okay.
And also
Oh.
in Quinn Redshift, they have like the typical 50s diner robot lady in one scene. Like I built it into the bar scene. I might leave off the like restaurant jargon, like get me a basket of grandma's breakfast, all of those, and it's a feminine looking robot, so she probably won't say hun either, but
Mm.
mm, wonder if, like, what if I just type in AI robot into Amazon? Maybe. All right, AI robot. Let's see what happens. It's all the same crap. I mean, like, I'm looking at these and they all have, like, remotes, you know?
Mm. I'm waiting for
Like,
that. Well, I know I'm not
look at
going to
this
see
bad
it.
boy. Right here. Remote.
Okay.
And, remote. Control with your phone. And of course they have lots of robot puppies. I can't find a robot cat yet.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these look really cool, but a lot of them specifically say for kids, so they're probably like not sophisticated.
Well,
Like not to the level I'm looking for.
I suppose that it'll ramp up eventually because I've seen the smartphone covers that feel like human skin. So,
Oh, that was so dippy.
slap one of those on a AI sex bot, that's another step forward.
Yeah, but I'm kind of looking for a toy, not a sex toy.
Yeah, moo. Moo.
Wait a
Definitely
minute.
moo.
Well, I see a drawing robot AI that says electronic learning toys and interesting education robot for kids. Now, that sounds interesting if it's truly AI.
What is it, that green one?
Well, I would have called it a little more bluish, but yeah.
Okay.
It has kind of an aqua look to
Yeah,
it.
huh? Well,
Or cyan.
I'm getting two different colors. On the left monitor, it's more it's more green, and on the right monitor, it's more blue.
My monitors do that too. There's something off on the color on that one. Like if I'm ever animating or looking at art and I want to try to duplicate a color, I have to import it because I can't look and get it accurate.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, is that an actual transformer for $430? But apparently yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's got wheels on it. It's not literally a transformer, like as in more than meets the eye, but it seems to be the same concept. And also, a lot of these say programmable, which to my mind means like they don't ever take initiative of any sort. You program like a dance sequence into them, I suspect.
Mm.
But I don't know. Let's type in cat robot and see if there's any. Oh, hey, for adults. Okay, let's try that. For adults. Seems to be the same nonsense. And the cat robots look kind of like, you remember that little toy where I guess it was usually a dog where it would go bark, 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 flip, flip, bark, bark, bark.
Yeah.
You know those?
Yeah.
They look like those, only cat.
Now you got me wondering something I haven't seen in a while. I haven't seen Sylvia's kitten. I bought her a stuffed kitten from Amazon a while back, and I'll have to see if I can find it. See what she did with it. Because she'd snuggle with it and stuff.
There's a robot here, this yellow multi-legged thing that looks interesting. I like the visual design, even if it's not good.
Okay, then.
Like, I don't know if this is a good robot. I know I like the look of it. But it says right here, in follow mode, it follows whoever approaches it and acts like an obedient pet. In explore mode, it can avoid obstacles and find a new route to explore. This actually sounds good. I just spent a bunch of money on something else. I'm adding it to the wish list, but I will come back to it. Like, if any of you are listening, you don't have to buy it for me. I'm just bookmarking it. I'll get it eventually, maybe next month.
There you go.
In fact, I'm going to move it to the bottom of the wish list so nobody's tempted. Like, if they're not in the show right now hearing me say it, they won't necessarily see it before they decide on something else. You know what I mean?
Please, Dayu Korostu. Oh,
So,
speaking of Amazon.
don't spend money on this.
Speaking of Amazon, did you get that link I sent you? If you're serious about that T-shirt.
Oh yeah, I did. I did.
Okay.
I think I added that to the wish list too. I'm adding a lot of placeholders,
I was
just so I can come back to shit.
I was actually amazed they still had it listed because I was thinking it would
Hmm.
just be, a seasonal thing, like for the election, and that's it. But no, it's still out there.
Well,
There it
the
is. I
thing
see
is,
it.
I don't know if you've been following the news, but apparently, like people are still that dedicated to Trump and want him to run in 2024, which I don't think he'll do. They're starting to file criminal charges,
Wouldn't
but
yeah.
it's like they did polls and loyalty to Trump. Well, Trump's loyalty to the Republicans, loyalty to the GOP. Like the Republicans have become the party of Trump.
Oh. I was trying to. Yeah, yeah. I thought you said that Trump was becoming loyal to the GOP. No, it is the other
No,
way around.
loyalty to Trump is trumping loyalty to the GOP.
Right. Absolutely. And this is a very dangerous thing. Um.
So my point is that this shirt is still topical.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, presidency or no presidency, election or no election, that shirt's relevant.
It just amazes me that you have that loyalty thing going on. I mean, it's scary.
It is. It really is. But the thing is, most people don't think he has a chance. I mean, one thing that I've seen is his popularity, his mentions, and everything has gone way the fuck down since he got kicked off of social media. And that social
Mm.
media platform he tried to start is not interactive. It's his blog. And he can't even comment on it, apparently.
All
So
right.
it's not Facebook or Twitter like people thought it would be.
Uh huh. Um. Now I don't know. The thing is, though, that what scares me is the party being so loyal to him when he is replaced, and he will be. They will be as loyal to the replacement. Uh,
Disagree.
okay.
Disagree. Because I think that they responded uniquely to Trump and who and what he is. I don't think anyone can easily replace him without being extraordinarily similar. Like, let's face it, Mitt Romney will never be the next Trump. Ted
Oh, right,
Cruz
right,
might, but not Mitt Romney.
right.
So I mean, whoever becomes the next prominent Republican may not get that loyalty, or at least not to the same degree.
Okay, I can only hope.
But Trump's popularity is definitely starting to wane due to lack of exposure. I mean, like it or not, cancel culture works.
Uh huh.
And there's something I kind of want to try again. A long time ago, we're talking like 15-ish years ago, I got a cartilage piercing up here. The problem is it got so infected that it had to be lanced twice, right? So obviously I don't have it anymore. But I think the problem was I was wearing my hair down most of the time. And so it probably picked up something from the head fur. If, on the other hand, I keep doing the ponytail, right? Maybe, just maybe, it'll be fine. Or I could just coat my ear in like cellophane for a while.
Uh huh. Oh, Von Rick. Um, I I did not have to pay for the transport to and from the second shot. That was really nice. Um,
You
the
didn't have to pay for the first one, you just did it.
well the clinic set up transportation when they booked me.
Well, even so, Lyft and Uber were available for your first shot, and if you told them where you were going, wouldn't have charged you.
Yeah, and I was the dum dum who didn't know that.
Hmm. I'm pretty sure it was on their site. So,
In other words, I didn't know to look. I don't assume that people are going to be generous.
yeah, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't investigate. Are we a skeptic or not?
Mm.
I mean, that's been my thing lately is suspenders and belt level of redundancy. Between like doing the COVID thing, washing up, masking up, et cetera, et cetera. Also, when I'm exploring Google Earth VR, I mean, I'm looking for some fairly specific locations. And, so I've started like, okay, bookmark this intersection, check everywhere. Bookmark that intersection, check everywhere. Whereas like previously I was going, okay, I'm pretty sure it's over here. Let me just look. No, let me look over there. And it was just all random. Now I'm starting to get a bit more methodical, to the point where I'm like, I know it's not that way, but I'm bookmarking it anyway, just in case,
Mm-hmm.
So if I were like, I need to get to let the appointment thingy there, I should check and see. I mean, it's special circumstances. It makes sense that they'd be helping out. Let me look.
Dayu korostu.
But then I'm the one who noticed that Vermont magnet on a like blurry back of the shot in an episode of The Big Bang Theory. So,
Yes, you are. Yes, you
that's just who I'm constantly noticing random ass details. I spot unique license plates that people miss, for example. I am constantly reading license plates. Can't help it. I mean, hell, I got a thing about plates.
Yeah, you are.
So there's that. Constantly noticing like spoonerisms and similar wordplay that other people miss.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was watching Good Omens and I saw that car going by with a license plate that said Sid Rat. And I'm like, that's TARDIS backwards. Oh, man. I know it's like taboo to say it, but I have to wonder, like, if someone really, really hates Doctor Who, have they ever called it a retardus?
Oh.
You Doctor Who fans, you're all just a bunch of retarduses. If someone hasn't said that, if I'm the only one to think it up, I'm a little disappointed, but it's probably for the best.
Okay then.
I'm constantly coming up with bad band names and occasionally bad drag queen names just based on those puns. Because let's face it, every drag queen uses a pun.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. There's a drag queen out there called Misanthropy. There
yes.
is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Misdemeanor. Someone told me that one's real. And I'm just like, I should get a job. If this is an actual job, I should get it making up titles for porn.
Oh, okay.
I would be really good at that because I'm a wise ass punster. And let's face it, a lot of porn titles have punny names. And I know that because I've worked for video stores.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do they do that anymore? I mean, does anybody really make any porn films? I know VHS isn't a thing anymore, but if you can get them on DVD or something. Not that I'm
it's all
shopping,
streaming
but
by now. I'm sure it's all streaming by now.
okay then.
I mean, the industry hasn't suffered. You just have to get it in a different form.
Uh-huh.
But I would be really good at that. Also, I remember, oh man, this was so silly. Back in the day when I was working at my first video store job, there was the porn section, and then there was the soft core porn section, right? Where it's like no sex, but people are naked kind of thing. And there were a couple of these weird ones where I assume they were a little on the BDSM side, but it was sort of BDSM Nazis, and it was called Ilsa the Wicked Warden and Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS, and the sheer amount of time those were rented makes me a little disturbed for humanity. I'm like, I don't need Nazi porn. Especially not Nazi BDSM porn, for fuck's sake.
Okay, Von Rick says you can still get them on DVD and Blu-ray, and how does Von Rick know this?
Well, I mean, there have been times I've typed in something where there's an overlap with porn, and Amazon like throws a disc at me, or someone else does. Whichever side I'm on, it's like I type in, oof, I don't know, two guys, a girl, and a pizza place, and it might decide. That's a real show, by the way.
Yeah.
And they might decide that's two girls, one cup.
Tayo korostu.
So, yeah, it's funny the different fetishes there are out there. Like grandma porn exists.
Yeah.
And all that kind of thing. Furry porn obviously exists.
Of course.
But there were a few where I'm just like, why? There was one I was looking for once because I got curious after seeing someone else rant about it. And like I was talking about that comedy routine I saw where Jim Jeffries was talking about circumcision.
Okay.
And he was part of his routine was that you can't find uncircumcised porn. He's like feet is more of a fetish than your dicks kind of thing. But it turns out like I mentioned that somewhere,
No,
and
it's
someone
out
said,
there.
someone said look up uncut because that is there. You just can't look up uncircumcised. I'm like, I'm not looking it up, but oh.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're very lucky, Mage. You're very lucky.
When you realize it's peanut butter, it's just silly. Because all they're doing is like,
Yeah. But
you
I mean,
know, it's not even sexual.
Okay, Von Rick says his husband was a Perl programmer, worked on the back end of many pay sites. Some of them, well, might have included explicit videos.
Which kind of makes back end a little funny.
Uh-huh.
But that's just me, you know.
Beef.
Oh, geez, I just had this horrible, like, okay. Sex support. Have you turned her on and off again?
Oh, jeez.
Like
Okay.
tech support, but sex support. You know, have you turned her on and off again? Or have you turned her off and on? I don't know, whatever. But turn on has to be part of the slogan. You know,
you got me wondering, Von Rick, if anybody is using Pearl out there anymore. I don't know.
Well, I know I never listened to Pearl Jam. Does that count?
There you go.
Ugh, fucking 90s. I'm actually having this like mild rant thread on Twitter. It was like an Onion article where they were talking about like 90s nostalgia, and I'm like, fuck the 90s. The 90s sucked. And some people are trying to make fun of me for it. Some people are actually asking why. One dude said, but what about this though? And I'm like, you mean that grimdark thing I hated so much after the unashamed optimism of the 80s? That? You know, so...
So Major's seen a Serbian film. Okay.
I only know that name. And you'll notice the capital letters. This is not
it's got to be the title.
A film from Serbia. It's, but I've heard of it. I've heard the title. I just don't remember what it is.
I could not help you there. I know of it, but I don't remember anything.
To the internet. Wikipedia, which should be a comedy site if there is one, a Serbian film. Oh, right, it's a horror movie. And snuff with pedophilic and necrophilic themes. Jolly.
Great.
Man. Well, hey, you remember the human centipede?
No.
How did you not? Like, I've never seen it, but it was everywhere when it came out. People couldn't stop talking about it. How'd you miss it?
Guess it's because I don't get out of the house all that much.
I guess, but I don't either, and I still saw it. It was on social media. The human centipede. I don't even know if I should be showing it. I mean,
is it that bad?
Some of the imagery. Well, I mean, it's like Okay, here is a reasonable enough picture. Did it? No, not that. That one. Right here.
Oh my
Whoop.
word.
Let's see. Open image in new. I think I have to reshare this tab now. But present now. That's the one. Share and da da da.
Ooh. Okay.
The human centipede. Like basically their jaws were detached and now so they're all the digestive system, which means those last two people are literally eating shit.
Oh, great.
Cha. So, there's that. It's a weird movie as I understand it, but I've seriously never seen it.
Eek.
Yeah. I mean,
Wait a minute.
whatever,
Wait
I
a minute.
guess. Oh, jeepers. They're up to number 3 by now, and the imagery I'm seeing is terrifying.
Eek.
The cat, yes. Um, so they've attached probably a couple hundred people, or at least a couple dozen now, instead of just 3. So there's that.
Yeek.
Well, at least they're getting it out on film instead of doing it for realsies. It's kind of like playing a video game that's super violent, so you don't go and do it out in the real world.
Hey,
Because it's
Chinese.
like people say that experiencing violence can make you violent. I say bullshit. Experiencing violence in fiction helps you not be violent in my world.
Mm-hmm. And let's see, to borrow a phrase, there goes the neighborhood. Chinese is here.
Saw that. Although usually there goes the neighborhood is for stool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I hate to say it though. You know what? She ended movie night early. I think we should end this now because honestly, I'm still starving, and we said
Okay.
that we would end it an hour, well, okay, 20 minutes ago. But whatever. I want food. All right.
Food,
So
glorious food.
yes, I will catch you later.
All right, honey, you take care. See you Tuesday, I certainly hope.
Tuesday is the 5th. Yeah.
Yay!
Later.
Daporozhnie. Oh, look. Now you get my ugly mug twice. Let me see if I can fix that for the last few minutes of this here. Whoa! This thing always decides that it's going to reset the parameters here. And that is not a good thing. Because it decides that it's going to do all kinds of horrible shit to me. I don't touch it, by the way. It just decides to move it and all kinds of stuff like that. Did I get it? Not quite, but damn close. All right, there we go. Yay! I'm just gonna leave it there for a while and screw with it later. Okay, but yeah, I'm kind of running out of steam as well. I was thinking of getting some food earlier, and no, I don't think so because I'm starting to run out of gas, starting to run on fumes, and it's not a good thing. And besides, I need to be presentable before I go out, which means I need to mow the leg fur at the very least. Yeah, now I can do the shorts again. Yay! Nice and warm out there. But yeah, let me just say to you kids, I want to thank everybody who's here. I want to thank everybody who's not here. You are amazing. Please understand that I mean every word of this. Every time I say it, you are amazing kids. You keep me going. Let's face it. And I love being appreciated, and you guys do it so well. And I want to thank you for it. But yeah. So I think I'm going to duck out of here until Tuesday and see what else we have going on and everything, and sleep off the last of this Moderna jab. How's that sound? And I will just say at you lovingly, thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.